Reddit though.
Oh, you
Yeah,
read it,
manga,
read it.
so.
Yeah, same difference.
Yeah, same difference. Yeah.
And yeah, Frenzy's also really into Naruto, and so is Yaka. And they, if it's brought up, they're talking about Naruto for the next 7 hours. And apparently, this has happened just every day at some point, where they're just talking every day for 7 hours about Naruto, which is one of the most psychotic things I've ever heard. But also,
So funny.
it's one of those things where I bring it up as a joke, and then we just end up talking about Naruto for 4 hours.
That's so funny.
But I was thinking that is that there is just a um, I don't know what it is, but it's there's a I think I understood for a second what it's like to be a normie, where you bring
Yeah,
up
hearing that.
Naruto and you just
Yeah.
understand all these like particulars of
Yeah.
what I'm bringing up, and I understand the particulars of what you're bringing up, and
Yeah.
there's just a sense of bonding connection where we've seen these
Absolutely.
things, and then we can talk about it, and it
Yeah.
sucks because when I
Understand.
talk to some people, it's just I can't relate to you on any level because,
Right.
or I say any level. I think you can. If two people want to find some way to
Some levels
connect with
suck
each
to
other,
relate on. Some levels suck on to relate on, right? Like it's like, yeah, you relate on that level, but that's fucking boring and limited, and like that sucks. Like, right?
where would you say? Wait, say that again.
What, like you said, like, well, yeah, you can find a level to relate with on anybody, but I'm saying, like, yeah, but some levels fucking suck to relate on. Like, it's not enough to just have
True.
like one or two levels where those levels fucking suck. Like, so I'm
I want
agreeing with you that like that's yeah.
I want to be on the 13th layer or something of the onion.
I want to be on
Not
the 13th level.
not layer 1.5. No way. That's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah,
We both, we both, played this video game, or we both have watched anime, and then it's all these sort of bug standard anime that have, and it's one of, I think I realized why it's the, when I was talking about when somebody interacts with only the things that are put in front of them,
Mhm.
it's it make something goes off in my brain, and I think it's because if somebody only deals with things that are directly in front of them, they're not actually thinking about the particular things that are in front of them. Because for me, it's
Absolutely.
I'm looking at something in front of me and I go, this is probably not it in terms of, let's say,
Right.
the drinking culture. That's something that's very much a norm where I live.
Oh yeah.
And so I reject that, and that means I needed to have applied some sort of thought to whatever is happening in front of me, and then based on some thoughts or ideals that I hold, I reject it. And when somebody is okay, well, you lived in a Christian society, and then you've
Yeah.
ended up being Christian, and you end up doing, I don't fucking know, it's like, oh, all your media habits are particular. It's like, oh, you all have the same sort of apps on your phone, because I think the internet's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I don't buy the massive internet critiques. I think the internet has its problems, but
Overall, yeah, very
it,
good. I think so too.
it's the
I wouldn't be
engagement
on it
that
so
people
much, but yeah.
have, where they're engaging with such a small portion of the internet, which is Instagram,
Yeah.
TikTok,
YouTube, Reddit, Facebook.
exactly,
That's it.
right? And that's not the internet for me, or what I see in the internet. And so when I open your phone and I just see those same basic apps, I go, okay, possibly an NPC. I
Yeah.
hate saying that NPC, but truly, kind of, yeah, it's kind of true. You kind of just have been thrown stuff in front of you, and you've just downloaded whatever is trending and popular.
Mhm.
Really, not interested in that. Absolutely not interested in that.
Yeah, I mean, but like, but I'm curious what the relationship is between what you said about Frenzy and them talking about this, and the way you introduced this was that you kind of hearing them talk about Naruto, you felt like what it was like to be a normie for the first time, and then
Mm-hmm.
you kind of saw that like you guys could relate to each other over something, and you shared that together. But
Mm-hmm.
then you're also saying that on some other level, like, well, if all we relate on is the same set of mass cultural things that none of us thought about, like what the fuck is the point? Like I'm not even relating to you. I'm like relating to like an image that we all share of a type of person, but like no one in particular, right? Like I'm knocking, but no one's home kind of thing up there, like for people
Mm-hmm.
in their head.
But
Is
that
that kind of what you're
I
saying?
think I think that a lot of normies do just relate. Oh yeah, we all engage. They talk. I just watch my mom interact with people, and she's a very affected manners kind of person, where she won't. lead the conversation to, if it's going into a controversial topic, she will completely stifle that topic and go, oh, let's talk about this and
That
that.
is so interesting. Really,
Yeah,
she does that.
absolutely.
She's really that. That is. I just want to say that behavior is what I'm studying AI doing. So, one of the things I'm studying with like serious rigor and academic interest is the way that AI structurally avoids controversy by fake engaging and then directing users elsewhere. Essentially, it's kind of how it works.
That's interesting.
So I just want to say, like, when I hear your mom say it, like, the reason I was like, really, was just because, like, that's a specific, like, that behavior you described, and, like, I'm deeply interested in. Like, how do you see she does it? Like, because, again, for me, it's like AI systems are systems created by humans. And so the types of ways in which we would manifest the kind of, like, skillful and sly steering of a conversation away from controversy, the way that a human would do that, that's, like, very helpful for knowing the way that an AI will do it, because it has to interface with humans, right?
Of course, yeah. Yeah, wow, that's really interesting. I'm really curious on
So
what
how
you
does
have to
she,
say. So,
how do, yeah, how do you
example,
see her do
I
it?
think I told you about this
Yeah.
last time, was at my aunt's house, and
Mhm.
it's a barbecue, and um my stepdad's uncle, they're quite reserved people, and Slavic alcohol culture. Oh, it's a
Yes,
barbecue. Let's get the drinks out. And
get the drinks out.
clearly, they didn't want to drink. So of course, I'm gonna, somebody that's also very abrasive, confrontational, and I don't like alcohol too. I'm gonna go.
Use the word curious, by the way. Use the word curious for yourself. You're curious, like that's what you are. You're not abrasive and confrontational. You're inquirious and curious and thoughtful. Like, don't put yourself down like that. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, I'm
Sorry.
not putting myself down like that. I am curious and
I know.
abrasive.
Yeah, no, but those are good things. Those are like good
Of
quality.
course,
Anyway, yeah,
yes.
keep going. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I enjoy that part of myself. That's why I'm very open to being abrasive.
Yeah, I love that.
And so I go, oh, this kind of recalls our I was recalling a drug conversation we had
Right.
earlier.
Yes. Yes. About the woman who smoked weed that was her friend that
Exactly, yes.
she was embarrassed about. Right. Yes.
So I recalled that and immediately said, let's not talk about this right now. Let's not talk
Right.
about this
Okay.
right now. She just avoided the topic, and I'm going, wait, so there are two people that, when somebody wants to drink, they'll enthusiastically drink. When somebody says no, it's sort of, you know how we've sort of, I guess this would be maybe like last 10 years, or I don't know, maybe even longer, but since I was conscious about these topics, has been probably the last decade or a little bit longer than that, which was sort of sex and consent, where when somebody's a little bit reluctant, don't push it. Don't push. It's a
Yeah.
little bit.
That's not how people go with alcohol. People push that shit hard, dude. They push that shit hard.
Exactly. And so when I see somebody, and it's about reading the body language, and I was more of a spectator to, I was just a little bit drained. It was quite late. It was the evening, dusk. And so I was just a little bit, was not really talking that much, just cracking jokes. And well, actually, that's kind of the contrary image, but it'd be I'll crack a joke and then I'll sort of just, because I don't speak the language, it would just be I'll make a joke out of something and then go, oh, okay. I'm just watching things.
Right.
So
Right.
I clearly see they're quite uncomfortable, and so it's for me. I pick up on that. It's, why are we getting this? And it was my mom
Vibe.
pushing them, but my mom had nothing to say about them being pushed to drink. Go, oh, come on, try some, come on, try some. And then they pour the glass for them, even though they never said, yeah, I'm good, fine, we'll do it.
Right.
And of course, I'm going to bring up the sort of drug conversation, because you're making somebody take drugs, and they are drugs,
Yeah.
and that they don't want to take. And it was not my mom, but it was, you're letting this happen. They're your
Right.
guests. They're staying in your house, and you should be an advocate for them. And so, of course,
Right.
I have to recall that drug conversation where she has immediately, she's acute to other sort of drugs and anyone taking them, and has exaggerated feelings about these other drugs.
But then all of a sudden, it's like, what? Why would you be so serious about this one? Like, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, but this one, nah, being serious about this one doesn't make any sense. Like, that's so interesting, right? That's so interesting.
And so immediately call it out, and then she shuts down the conversation in a sort of, it like under her breath. She says it under her breath. Like, let's not do this right
Let's not talk about
now.
this right now. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's how that happened.
That's how you see that behavior manifest. Is she's like, let's under breath. She's like, kind of being like, listen, not right now, not
Yeah.
right now, kind of thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's it. Because I think people are pushing each other to be drunk, like, or just like to have alcohol, not to be drunk necessarily. But it's like they're trying to say like, we want you to open up more. We want to like see you be less inhibited. Because that's one thing that a small amount of alcohol can do in a positive way is like lubricate a party where some people become less inhibited and they're more open and they're less kind of introverted in their shell and they're kind of more willing to take risks and open up about themselves. But then that's like what's kind of interesting too about the kind of subtext to me of the conversation is either one, you're not comfortable with me not being like that when you're like that, or two, you have like a problem with how I'm acting right now, almost. Like you have like it's not I don't always it's not always this way, but you know what I mean? If you're saying like, hey man, loosen up, like have some of this, it's like I'm I'm fine. I'm chill. I'm having a good time. Like, why are
Hmm.
we needing to, you know what I mean? Like, why are we all of a sudden saying Niraj needs to like improve his party mood? Like, what are you trying to say about me? Like, that's almost an insult to me a little bit. I don't know.
That is kind of
I'm
an
like,
insult. Your neutral was not
you
good
know,
enough
what are we,
for
yeah.
the party.
I thought we were hanging out. Now we're having a good time. It's like, hey, have some more.
Hmm.
I'm like, dude, I can't drink. So what's going on with that? Like, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, that's funny. I also I was gonna I don't know if you heard me mention this, but I think you were gone. But I'm mentioning I listened a little bit of you talking to EXE last night,
Okay.
a little bit
I,
on
I
that
I
convo.
had his. I think I had his shit muted. I don't know if you heard his side.
Yeah, but I could
Um.
kind of interpret what was
Okay.
being
Yeah.
said for some of it. Yeah, like yeah, it was yeah. Well, but I was more curious also like what you felt, like what you saw, like how your thought process was, how it adds to your kind of ever growing set of thoughts and questions, and I mean that in a positive way about like the nature of friendship and like online relationships and kind of expectations and such.
Mm. Give me a place to start. I don't know where to start.
Um, how do you feel like he engaged with your critiques about Zoo and about the conspiracy, as you put it, launched by couple of people to get Frenzy out because he was talking about Galactic or not Galactic about EXE, and EXE was saying something about how like, oh, he was talking about me and me in the past or something like that. And you're
Mhm.
like, well, yeah, like if you are really open and radiate yourself like out there all the time, that people are going to have a sense of who you are. That's going to like not just go away, it's going to stay. And like other people on the internet, not just friends, you're going to talk about who you were in the past. Like that's just
Mhm. Mhm. Um. Just to clarify
so. How'd
some
you feel about
things,
that whole
that
thing?
conspiracy was, um, it was something that was led by EXE, and
Okay.
from the way, so he was saying that, oh, it was everyone was kind of fine with whatever happening, and then EXE
Mm-hmm.
was driving it. So already, I'm really suspicious about that.
Hmm.
In terms of when somebody's a big driving force of something, and nobody's really saying anything, it's sort of just a one man decision because nobody
Right.
really has an opinion. So he
Push
was
back.
saying it was he was specifically saying, I've had a problem. I've had problems with the way Tricky's run the server, and Tricky's kind of agrees. And so, we had a democratic vote to remove Galactic and Frenzy, and that Galactic
Galactic
one,
and Frenzy. That's
yeah,
really interesting. What?
so interesting. I
Because
couldn't
he's so close to Galactic. He
exactly.
like
He's had some
borderline
problems.
worships Galactic last time I talked to him. Like last time I talked
Yes.
to him, I was like, dude, if he could like somehow attach himself from like a blood perspective to
Hmm.
Galactic, where they both had the same blood, like they share the same blood supply, like I think he would. Like I don't know how to explain it. It was like such a deep level of like love and adoration, but in ways I didn't think necessarily was very healthy. Just to be real, like
Hmm. Oh yeah, his relationship, at least from talking to him from in the past, absolutely not healthy. Really, really bad for him. Um, but for some context, it was it was when other people would talk, and he would admit this. He said, when he confided with me, oh, when other people talk to Galactic, but I'm not present, I get really jealous, and I was thinking, whoa, that's
ah!
really, really bad. But the whole zoo conspiracy, I'm glad you called it conspiracy, because that's exactly what it was. It wasn't this democratic they weren't convening democratically, because that's not how a democracy works. When somebody has a force of will to get rid of somebody, and then that person isn't even present to give some sort of defense for themselves, even though they're a part of the server, they exist in the server. And so for
Yeah.
him to present it as democratic, really, really bad. I think that was
Us.
really bad. Not even so. It was really,
Yeah.
really
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, but
fucking
also like
crazy.
I don't think he's the most like direct person in a lot of ways. And so I think it's fair to expect I'm not even being critical when I say this. I just mean like I think generally he operates socially in this way where it's like a background feeling out. It's like, hey, what do you think about this guy? It's like a very considered approach he has a lot of the time. So like,
Hmm.
when he then finally is like, you know what, actually we're gonna get this guy out, like he's already kind of gone through the process, I think, of figuring out where everyone stands with it and is okay with it. Like so in his mind it's democratic, but it's actually not because he's literally single-handedly gone behind everyone's back and decided this to happen. But from his perspective, because it's, oh, I've asked everybody and
Hmm.
they either don't care or are okay with it or are like pro it, he sees that as democratic, which I think is interesting too.
Yeah, that's absolutely not at all how I would
Democratic.
envision any sort of democracy, or
Yeah,
even
but you can
a.
see why he would think that, right? He's saying, "Oh, everybody
Oh
is
yeah,
okay with it." Like,
absolutely.
I talked to everybody behind the
Yeah,
scenes, and it's like,
yeah,
"Well, wait
totally.
a minute, behind the scenes, it's not democratic." But it's like, well,
Hmm.
he doesn't get. I don't think he gets that necessarily. I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah. He talks to everyone
Okay.
behind the scenes without including the person, as if they, don't have a say. It's a really comical way to see. I think, yeah, I can see how he could see it as democratic, but it's, you have to be fairly delusional, even if you're
Yeah,
going by
yeah,
a
I
really
agree. I
weird
agree.
interpretation of democracy. Because
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
yeah, he and the fact that Frenzy didn't even know why he was kicked, I had to speculate. Oh,
That's
it's
crazy.
probably a Yezi thing. And I told. By the way, I am gonna have to tell Frenzy this, because
Yeah. Okay.
for me, yeah, it's a matter of principle that if if a group that you've been part of for so long and you just get removed without really knowing why, that's now I don't know how much Frenzy cares. EXE was saying, "No, I don't really think Frenzy cares." To me, that doesn't matter because we
It's
have
funny because you
no
should have asked
idea.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you should have asked him. Yeah, it's just a justification. I was about to say that. It's just a justification because you have no idea how he feels
You
about
know.
a particular thing, and people aren't usually quite open with how they feel, especially guys. Um,
Oh yeah.
not particularly open about. Oh, yeah, I can handle
Man,
that. Zoo wasn't even really important anyway. Sure, boss.
crying
Sure,
about this
boss.
haters. Yeah, I didn't even care about those guys. They were my friends.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't.
Not
I didn't even
crying,
give.
but would
No,
he
I know.
now
I'm
say
just
no?
like joking. Like guys do
Mm-hmm.
that. You know what I mean? Guys
Yeah,
do that. They're like, no, bro. Like that's fucking. I didn't care, bro.
absolutely.
I didn't even
Yeah.
fucking give a shit, bro. And they're like going to sleep. They're just looking at the wall. They're like, do people just not like me? You know what I mean? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
so sad. Like they can't even talk about their feelings. It is really sad.
Mm-hmm. And yeah. So Frenzy said he couldn't. I'll probably tell him next time I'm streaming Claire Obscure, because he comes into my chat
Okay.
and watches, but he said he couldn't watch for the next few days. Next time he comes into
Gosh.
my chat when I'm playing the game, I'm definitely gonna tell him.
But
So
no.
rather tell him on stream just so I can get the live reaction. Um,
The main part that I thought was that I heard in your conversation that I was like, that because I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I listened to like the first part of it from your
mm,
perspective, and you just kind of talk about like the experience of like not having it told to you
mm,
that like what was going on in zoo. And I don't know, you sounded kind of hurt. Honestly, you sounded like when you were thinking about it, you were like, you sounded kind of hurt about it, and I think that's valid. Just to say, like, I think it's
mm-hmm,
fair to have like a mourning or a sense of like, losing those people sucks, like it does. You
mm-hmm.
know?
For me, I was hurt when in that month before I left. I said, and I was really slow with it. For those last 2 weeks, I was feeling a particular way, but I think I was more just I was talking about my feelings on how I felt. I did feel hurt in the moment that it happened, but I think it's now
Right.
that it's happened so long ago. I've definitely accepted everything that has happened. So
For sure, but I felt like there was a moment where you were embodying it, like you were embodying the feeling
mhm,
of to just to express it to someone else. You were like
mhm.
embodying the feeling of like remembering that moment when you started thinking about like what you saw the private chats and you assumed it was a private Discord or whatever, and you were like, okay, fuck that,
I didn't. I
yeah,
didn't.
then you left.
Nah, it was. I thought it was just private chats. I didn't even
Yeah,
assume
private
it was a
calls,
private Discord. Yeah, fuck.
right, private calls
Um,
and private chats. Yeah, right.
yeah, that a whole, it is just worse because it's a whole copy of Zoo, and so I think
That's so crazy.
I think for me with the XC, I think I am going to be a little bit more distant. It's also the case that he just doesn't engage with a lot of the things I sent him, and that sucks. We
Yeah,
would love to get some engagement, especially when it's fighting game stuff that the same fighting games that he likes and watches. Oh wow, you could actually say something about the the 3 second clips I sent you or whatever. Really easy. I also sent him the screenshot of Frenzy saying something. Oh, I got kicked from Zoo. Never said anything. Wow, just more. I don't know if it was he specifically chose. Oh, I'm not going to respond to that because he just often doesn't respond to things. But um, I think definitely, I'm not super satisfied with the apology in terms of, oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. I don't think it's for me. If I do somebody fuck, if somebody's coming to me, going, yeah, I was really hurt by this, and I'm telling you in the strongest terms, really considering friendship, not for me. It's not going to be. I'm sorry. It's okay. Let's. How is this never going to happen again? What do you expect
right. How
from
do we
me?
move forward?
Where is it going? So, and especially when he told me that, and it just it's like he it's something that he wouldn't realize. But for me, when he tells me about the conspiracy against Frenzy, it's just, oh wow, this is just who you are.
Mm,
Where you do things, you do things in the background, not out in the
mm.
open, and you're not going to be entirely honest with somebody. Um, and now that you tell me about this galactic worship, I already know that, but I didn't know it was close to now. Or at least the last time you talked. So I would assume it's not that far off from now. The fact that he's just completely done with this person. Um,
And he's discarding them in that way. That does seem kind of concerning for a friendship long term.
mhm.
I see what you're saying. It's like if you do that to Galactic, like who would he not do that to, kind of thing. Like I kind of see what you're saying there. If that's what you're saying, I don't know how if you were saying a different thing.
I think it's the lack of it's
Of
that
communication.
he changed his opinion on somebody that he viewed really strongly really quickly. And to me so what he was saying to me was, yeah, Galactic came into the and this felt like a bullshit justification, but he's saying, oh, Galactic came into the server and started making bird sounds, and I'm going,
Well,
okay, that's really stupid and really annoying.
really
I
random.
Yeah, I know, really really random, but honestly, um, that was the justification for why he was kicked. By the way, that was the justification,
That
and
that's
that he
so
gave
weak.
me. Yeah, it's just an incredibly weak justification. I'm going, no, it's definitely this other stuff that you were talking about Galactic, where he was showing me
Yeah.
DMs of just not really getting a response from Galactic, and Galactic said, okay, so I'm
Mm.
gonna give you a second chance. Well, not a second chance, but this is a common sentiment from basically everyone that talks to EXE, which is, I don't really want to share stuff with you because you're just never going to engage, or you're going to engage with it for a weekend and then it's nothing. It's in your periphery, and so not even, it's just never any engagement in it whatsoever. And so that's why Frenzy is, oh, I don't care about this person. He's a waste of time, because he's just gone around and said, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then never does it, and then never even takes any accountability or says anything. It's always just some weird excuse. For some reason he loves his excuses and justifications. um so it's kind of everyone though. And
Yeah. It's so many people. I was gonna say that. Like this is a lot of people we're talking about right now. I feel like.
yeah. And yeah, to recenter the whole galactic thing. Really bad justifications for kicking him. It feels like a very personal reason for him to be saying that is that he's not even really fully aware of why he kicked him. Or he is, like, he's not aware himself that he was kicked for personal reasons of not being responded to. He feels really hurt by that because he held the friendship in high regard. And
Yeah.
I have to tell him too is I do think what Galactic did was pretty unfair in terms of, hey, I'm gonna give you a chance here, and
What does
then
that even mean?
just so they were talking about so EXE was saying, okay, I know that I don't engage with stuff, but please just give me a chance. I will engage with your stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then uh Galactic says, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll give you a chance, and then he EXE would say send stuff in DMs and just wouldn't get a reply for days. But the context is that this guy has been typing in other and these are
Bored.
not EXE isn't sending big messages where okay I don't
Right.
feel like reading
Essays.
this right now. It's
Yeah, essays.
you know, oh, by the way, I cleaned my room today. You know, it's maybe like 10 words that he sent.
Get the thumbs up Discord emote, a react kind of thing. You could do that, you know.
Mm-hmm. He was pissed off about the fire emoji because Galactic loves his fire emojis.
I love that emoji.
And it's one of those things where EXE sort of says things open ended in terms of it's not really a direct question. He just goes, "Oh, I did something today," to start a conversation, and he doesn't force a decisive conversation. He doesn't go, "Oh, hey, by the way, kind of want to talk right now." He doesn't say any of that. Which for somebody that you know, if you give them open-ended stuff, they just want to respond. But to be fair to EXE, I think he's kind just from EXE's perspective, I have to say, I have no idea what Galactic is thinking. The fact that he is sending messages in another Discord and then can't even respond to, oh, I cleaned my room. You can't just say, yeah, good fucking job. But then I can also, if Galactic says, it was so funny when EXE was saying, I didn't even get my fire emoji. That's so funny.
I didn't do that. It's so funny. You even get a fire emoji. Yeah, the fire emojis, dude. Yeah, just drop the fire emoji. Like, why are we like holding back on that sense? Like, Galactic should just send the fire emoji. Like, that's and I see what you're saying. It's kind of fucked up to be like, oh, like I'm gonna give you another chance or whatever, however it's phrased, but then like not do that. Kind of. It almost sounds like I don't know if that's
So EXE was really pissed, and I was saying, dude, this is somebody that you've explored your whole current identity with in terms of you were,
it's a very
the first conversation we had was when I was playing Darius and you were anti-gay and you're a bisexual guy now and you explored that with this Galactic guy. I think that you owe him some sort of explanation in terms of you kind of kicked him from a server that he's been a big contributor to. Or you led
for
that.
5
you
years.
instigated that.
Or 5 years,
exactly.
whatever.
This is half a decade. And you owe him some sort of, okay, I don't like you right now because blah, 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 blah. You don't explain yourself. So at least he knows that at least he has some closure and clarification, because I think closure is a big thing for a lot of people. It's really important, and I wouldn't want to deny somebody of closure if they were somebody that's really important. You know, don't let the end define you know, the entire friendship when it's over. When it's not. It's different if they, you know, killed your parents or something, but it's over poor communication and neglect. And I think that deserves some sort of closure. So that's
for him too. For him too, not just for Galactic. Like for him too. Like it's closure for him too to like to be able to say that. I feel like, yeah, no, that's really good advice.
But I don't. It's one of those things where I don't. I think if Galactic, I think Galactic is in a different point of his life in terms of he's
like his girlfriend. He has a job. Like the stuff he's doing. Like I think.
He's.
I don't know.
I understand. He's also got a girlfriend, and so there are just more things to manage for him now that he has a job. Now that he has a, I mean, it's not like EXE doesn't have a job too. I
Right.
think the levels of engagement are quite different in terms. I think Galactic might be more in terms of that. He's doing more things with the people that he knows IRL
Right.
versus EXE, where the EXE still quite online, and so a lot of his old friendships are still um they coincide with his current hobbies. And I was just trying to get him to understand the perspective is that different people have different
Needs and yeah, interests at different points in life for sure.
exactly, and so they start
100%.
moving away from that, and it
Yeah.
might be a slow gradual change, and it's not something that both people may not realize, and maybe only one person realizes that, yeah, I'm actually getting way less noise from this person, and that you just need to understand that from this person's perspective that their hobbies now have drastically changed, and I'm kind of I'm a mom now, and I'm seeing
Hey, yeah. Can't watch
my kid's
anime.
best friend's mom. Do you watch anime?
Yeah, I can't watch
And
anime right now.
yeah.
Yeah. A kid, yeah.
Hmm.
Which is crazy because like Big Mike has a kid. Like people having kids, like it's not even that far off of like
What?
where we are in our lives. Like, yeah, Big Mike has like a kid, like an actual kid, like a child. Yeah. I think actually for like 2 years now, which is crazy to think about. Like he had a kid young. I don't think it was. I don't know if it was planned. I don't think it was planned, but he has a kid. Mikey Jr. It's not named Mikey Jr. But I like to imagine it's Mikey Jr.
Sorry,
It
okay.
should be
I
Mikey
just I
Jr.
had to collect some big food collection.
Yeah,
What?
Big Mike. Yeah, big
The
thoughts, dude. Yeah, he's streaming recently too. You can ask him next time he streams because he's been streaming recently. Um,
holy sh! That's so
awesome.
unbelievable to
He has a
me.
kid. It's unbelievable. I know it's wild. No, he has a kid, dude.
Oh my.
But yeah, people be having kids. It's like my parents had me like fucking 2-3 years from like this point in my life. Like
Oh,
they had me
my
when they were
age.
like 27, 28 kind of thing.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
They they
Like
they,
that's
they had me when I was 24. So,
yeah.
or when my mom
You
was
were oh,
24.
so that's literally your age. That's your age
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
exactly. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
that's insane. And my uncle, I
Yeah,
think,
that's
was
insane.
24 or 23. I'm just thinking, oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's.
But wait, your dad was older though, right? Your dad was like in his 30s, right? From what I remember.
I have no idea. I don't have to ask my
Don't
mom.
worry. Yeah, I don't. I was probably wrong about that, but
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you got.
that's epic. I don't know what fuck I got that from. I probably was mixing that with someone else who told me that a
Okay.
similar. But
Um.
yeah, but it's happening to us right now. So it's like also something we have to be
Mhm,
like practically aware of in like a real way, where it's like, yeah, this is how humans work and stuff. And like,
mhm.
I'll also say like my sense is I don't know if this is the same girlfriend Galactic has, but I think he's dating Lily, the like
Yeah, that's the
advanced
same
warfare
one.
streamer. Yeah, yeah, okay,
Wait, the
that's
what?
the one I thought he had. The like advanced warfare streamer, like or infinite warfare, infinite warfare. Sorry, I misspoke.
Infinite
But the
Warfare
Spaceland,
streamer?
yeah, the
Oh,
infinite
Zombie
warfare
Slayer.
Spaceland. Yeah, yeah, Zombie Slayer. Yeah, Lily,
Oh,
the
okay.
infinite where she plays like Spaceland or whatever. She like speedruns that, I think. Um,
Oh, okay.
she has
I
like
thought you said
a account called like
streamer. I was thinking,
no,
what
no,
the
no,
fuck?
yeah, like gamer,
A
like
gamer,
player,
gamer,
like
gamer, gamer.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
gamer, yeah. And I'll just like from her perspective, like imagine you were to find out imagine if like you had a partner and then you found out that they had someone in their life like EXE, you're gonna see them as a threat to you're gonna see EXE as a like no matter what way you're thinking of it, like, oh, this person was gay for them. This person is like clearly deeply invested in them and interested in them and like cares about them and like jealous of any time I spend with them. Like you're gonna see this person as a threat to your relationship too. Like that type of behavior where you like worship someone and you make them the center of your world. That's very dangerous for a long-term friendship if they find a fucking partner because that partner, I think rightly so, frankly, would see you as a threat to their relationship because you actually are like you are jealous of the time they're spending with their partner. That partner thinks you're a threat to their relationship, and I think I like that makes total sense to me. Like that's not even irrational to me. Like that seems totally not like it's unfortunate, right? It's unfortunate, but that's just the way that if
Okay,
another person comes in and sees it, they're gonna feel like they're threatened. Like that's
that
they're not gonna think,
makes
oh, from EXE's perspective. They're gonna think, oh, from my perspective, this guy's a threat to our relationship. No, that's right. Go ahead.
true.
Yeah,
That's so obvious.
yeah.
I didn't even think. Wow, I should have told him that because he was telling me about this. Oh, I don't even know who they are. The first time I even got clarification of they're advanced warfare, infinite warfare. What the fuck?
Yeah, one of those. Yeah.
Spaceland, Zombie Slayer.
Yeah.
no idea about any of that. EXE was
Yeah.
saying I didn't really get any sort of real understanding of this, but he was saying bad that Galactic's girlfriend was saying that EXE was a bad influence and that she didn't want any she kept kicking him from discords and banning him in chats, I think. Maybe I made that second one up, but definitely banning in discords and basically trying to restrict access. And from what I heard was Galactic was completely disagreeing with his girlfriend, but in the actions that he took he was sort of being really distant. And so, oh, I was thinking, fuck, is he? I told him about this concept in the Infinite Corridor, something I just made up, which was
Ooh. Okay.
something where you wanna. It's an infinite corridor because it just goes on forever, and so you sort of take yourself as you are now, and you're in this, I guess it's sort of like a hyperbolic time chamber where it's not a hyperbolic time chamber, but you don't want things to change, and so you're in this infinite corridor. It goes on infinitely. You're
Right.
in this. You're stuck in this point in time. Wait, hold on. What? No,
What's that?
not now. Tomorrow. Mom, please. Yes. Can you leave? Um. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This infinite corridor.
You want it to go on forever. Yeah. Almost like he wants it to go on forever, though, I will say. Like it's almost like he wants the relationship to be in the state of stasis, right? Where it's
Mhm.
always the online
That's not what I
friendship
was talking
still.
about. But
No, I know.
um.
It feels like that.
Mhm. I was thinking. I was thinking more from Galactic is in this infinite corridor where
Okay, got you.
he's trying to preserve the he's sort of trying to preserve the friendship. But there are two people eating at him from both sides where
Okay.
they don't approve of each other, or at least they want something. I mean, perfect world is they probably don't. EXE wants this person gone, but it's more of EXE from what he told me, he just wants to engage with Galactic or be in the same groups. And this person, from his perspective, was saying, because I have no idea what the fuck Galactic or this silly person
Yeah.
said. So, and I take what EXE says with a massive grain of salt.
Mhm.
He Lily wants his person gone, so that they're at opposing ends, and instead of forcing a confrontation, hey, by the way, EXE, you're kind of a threat to our relationship in terms of how clingy you are and how you are gay for me. So
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
and yeah, that's you're demanding a lot of attention that probably a normal person wouldn't give. This is beyond just a close friend. You're
Right.
really getting in a space that I just don't want you to be in. But we're still friends. Just
Right.
we can't be as close as we were previously. He doesn't want to force that.
No.
And so
Which was bad, which was ultimately a mistake on both ends because now EXE is just like looking for a reason to kick him, right? Like that's like we'll use like resentment and shit, right? Like
exactly. And at least that's just only based off what EXE says. That could possibly be something that's going on where, yeah, he's in this
yeah.
infinite corridor, he's preserving the friendship as best as he can. And both parties are unhappy. This girlfriend of his is unhappy that this EXE person, well, probably she's happy now, but at least prior to this, probably really unhappy
Yeah.
that boyfriend is engaging with a powder keg. So, yeah.
Or just someone competing for his attention. Like it's I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like if you're the girlfriend, why are you with this person? Because you want to be with them and you want their attention. And if you got see another person who's like, oh my god, they want this person's attention, you're like, fuck that person. That person sucks. You shouldn't hang out. Like
And they're
it
gay,
seems so
all of
logical.
them.
You know what I mean? It's so logical to me. It's like why. This is the problem that he's setting up for himself in future relationships. Is like if he's I think he needs an IRL girlfriend, dude. I think EXE needs an IRL girlfriend that's gonna just like love him and not want him to leave the house, and like he's just gonna have to. He's gonna then be the person who has to be like, no, like it's unhealthy to spend this much time together. Like, you know, like he'll develop that a little bit in response to her over clinginess or something. Like he needs some experience like that, where like someone.
Yeah.
What?
I said, yeah, somebody that's clingy, because everyone that he's been with is sort of always pulled away.
And he needs someone that's like there with him in real life, though. I think also, so that they're like, they're like connected in like a real way. Like I don't know,
physically tethered, like an umbilical cord. That'd be real.
Yeah, like or like two blood or like two like you know IVs connecting blood supplies and fucking feeding them.
Was he saying this that he wanted with Galactic?
No, dude, it was great because I was like, dude, I feel like if you could like merge consciousness with Galactic, you would. And he was like, yeah, like it was like some stuff like that. I was like, damn, like because it was like a level of obsession I hadn't like heard a person express before for another person, like a level of infatuation and like I don't know. I was like, whoa.
That's even deeper,
you know what I'm saying?
Than I thought it was. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that level of infatuation. But when was this? Was it a few months ago or something?
This was like maybe like 7-8 months. I mean, this is when EXE was not a good place with his dad passing and stuff. So like he also could have been in just a hyper emotional state where he was more prone to like just like over feeling certain things. But it did seem like real that he really cares about Galactic, and that's I mean that's one of those things. It's like I'm not faulting him for this. Like Galactic was super important to him in his life, and like as you said, so much of his identity was like structured around and formed in conversation with Galactic. Like, how could you not be close to that person? But yeah, no, I again, I just think it's a structural problem though. It's like with the relationship, if your goal is longevity, which I think it ideally is, you know.
Yeah, that's super. I think it super sucks just because it's not one of those. Oh, I'm a really close friend, and yeah, I understand that I'm going to be number 2 now. It's not going to be. I'm not going to be on the same playing field.
Level.
Yeah. It's the case that EXE is this guy was gay for Galactic, and I said
yes, 100%.
And so this was a conversation I maybe had a year ago with him where I was saying, would you break up with your current girlfriend?
Oh yeah, dude, he said yes to me about this too. He was like, absolutely, like it was crazy. I asked the same question. Is that what he said to you, or did he say something else? Like, what did he say?
It was something that I was considering. I think he ultimately might have declined.
Okay.
But
again, that might represent when I was knowing him, which was probably a more emotionally vulnerable time, where he was like, you know.
Yeah, honestly, I think he would. I think he actually is in love with this Galactic person, and that's why he's taking it so hard. It is kind of like a breakup for him, where that's why he is being so vindictive, because this is not a normal level of pettiness. This is crazy. For who this person was, your behaviors is about out of order. But yeah,
and I don't know, I'll throw this out there, like Lily, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but they're trans, right? They're male to female. And
I'm aware of that.
They're a zombies player and stuff, and it's not even like they're IRL in this. Like they've met up several times. They're obviously very close. It's a very serious relationship that they have, but they're not in the same city, right? They're in different parts of the country. From what I understand, one is in Kansas and one is in
Kentucky.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And that's or Kentucky. Yeah. Thank you, Kentucky. And then Pennsylvania or Philadelphia, one of those places. And those are like distant kind of places. And so, like, I guess from EXE's perspective, he's seeing like Galactic with like a zombies like femme guy who isn't even an IRL necessarily. And he's like, why could that not? Like, I don't know. This is big speculation, but it's like, there's like an element of jealousy there where it's like, how could that not also be like, well, you didn't want that with me, but then you want this with another person. You know what I mean? Like if he like, do you know what I mean? Where it's like, it's like not just a matter of like, oh, this person's moved on and they're like at a new stage in their life. It's like from his perspective, like, oh, this person is like, I wasn't the one that he wanted to do this like semi-online relationship with, but another person is. And like Galactic may have framed it originally as like, well, I don't want that type of relationship. I want a more, real in real life thing, right? But then he might not have done that. He might have actually, from his perspective, just kidding. And then, so it's like it's an insult directly at EXE of like I'm rejecting not just like I'm not just rejecting like a general format of dating. I'm not rejecting like the online dating. That's not what I'm rejecting. I'm rejecting you, right? So I think he feels rejected. I think and I think he sees it as a breakup. I think that's what's going on.
Feels like it feels like a breakup to me, because that
Well,
his behavior is quite uncharacteristic for the amount of it's. I'm off the norm for this, but I don't feel any sort of animosity to Trickies. I think if I
really,
end up, yeah, really don't. And so
I respect that. I do for some reason, but yeah, I respect that.
I just can't. I can't bring my. I think it's just because I know. For me, it's because my expectations have been tempered. I kind of know a lot of people like this, where they're just not confrontational, and and they sort of live in this mini corridor where they can sort of play both sides, where they can have a little bit of this and a little bit of that,
Right.
and even though
That's
if the other
worlds.
person found out about this thing existing, they'd be really upset that, oh wait, you've basically got a very similar group, but there are just just extra people in there that don't like me. Well, I just love to know that's why Zoo has been dead for the past month. It'd really be really useful to know. That's why when we're watching anime together, yeah, you haven't messaged me. It's always me instigating the messages, and so when I don't message you, you don't go, oh, by the way, we're watching anime. Oh, you're just not. Nah, that's just not existing anymore. Okay, wow, that would have been nice to know. You can't just restart that and just be like as if nothing ever happened, because that's sort of what it was like. It was, it's like you guys, most of Zoo wasn't, or the active members of Zoo weren't just in a private call talking to each other, and I've just been forcing out. You can't just act like that didn't happen. It's good for me to know, because I know where I stand within the group. I know that I'm not an inner member of the group. I'm this outer member.
That's what's crazy to me, though. No. But that's what's crazy to me, though, is like you're like, oh, I learned where I stood in the context of this group, and I understand and have no animosity towards people because. But to me, what I saw was a group being restructured such that the person who seemed to be like the most kind of motivated and engaged and like essential and like responsive individual was removed. Like the way that I saw it from the outside, big time outside, was just. That was just like a removal. Like it wasn't like I learned where they stand. It's like, well, I'm now standing outside.
Yeah. It is a more.
You know what I mean?
Thing.
Like,
yeah.
Like it's like I don't know. So like that's what like that's I don't know. But I'm weird.
Context?
Like I have a weird. Yeah. Go ahead.
Just for some more context, I've always stood outside of some particular things in terms of with EX. Okay. So and this is something that me and Triggy's actually bonded over, was we ended up becoming closer because EXE is just clandestine. That's just who he is. He had.
I think that's so funny.
What'd you say?
I think it's so funny because his memory isn't very good. Like, at least that's what he tells me, and so I'm like, the idea of him being clandestine but also having like a semi-faulty memory is like hilarious to me. Anyway,
clandestine meant like in secret.
Yeah, it is. But like, if you are operating in secret, you have to have a memory of what is taking place that you have to then navigate. If it's like, well, you have to know a really deep amount about the various things you're doing, such that you can operate in secret in ways that achieve ends that you like aren't able to communicate directly. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, you can't just clandestinely walk around with amnesia. It's like, well, you're not actually doing anything. You're just doing a bunch of secret things that add to nothing, almost. So I think that's
funny. Okay. So he had the Siberia server, and
right.
That was something that we were never invited to, but that's a different friend group. That's not. There's a lot of the same members in there. Actually, there were a few people that were sort of adjacent to Zoo, that were in Zoo and also in the server, but I saw it as its own thing. And so
yeah,
for me, it's okay. I understand that I'm not gonna be in this group. And I know it's a thing. I know this group is a thing. It's not, oh yeah, this secret group that I'm going to. He talks about it openly, so I was like, I don't. That's not my place to be upset about. But
right.
it came to the point where we love to do music brackets in Zoo, and so we were looking
Right.
for a music bracket for a while, and uh, we couldn't get one, and so they end up doing a music bracket in Siberia with some of the people that we also do it. Obviously, he's the person that we would do it with, but also other people in there. I think Wonder was there too, and
Gotcha.
Ricky's was not happy, and this is something that he's obviously getting upset about.
So
And
interesting.
funny because he actually ended up justifying it to me. He was saying, "Oh, but we could never really get a music bracket in Zoo, so we just thought, okay, why not do it in Siberia? Okay, why not fucking invite us to Siberia so we can do it with you? You're clearly freezing
Yeah.
us out. Stop pretending that you're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have frozen that. You have frozen out. You've deemed that.
100%.
Oh, we don't want to do it." And I, it's a thing where I know I'm being frozen out of this because it's not. Oh, we did a music bracket in Siberia. It's oh, we did a music bracket in Siberia, and by the way, kind of don't want to. We kind of. I'm kind of justifying it. Wait, why the fuck are you justifying doing a music bracket? That's on you. You can do a music bracket. Why are you justifying it to me? To me, you feel some sort of guilt for engaging in a
Absolutely.
music bracket, and I think, okay, yeah, maybe you are just not honest with the way you feel about us. That yeah, I don't want to do it with you guys. I just want a different atmosphere, and you guys are a little bit abrasive. Fuck, that'd be nice to know because that's probably how you feel about us. Say it openly. And the thing is that that's not. I understand that some people are going to feel that about me, and I'm fine with my friends feeling that about me. It's that when that doesn't get said, that leads into a whole bunch of issues of okay, now I don't understand why I'm being frozen out. Now there's a bunch of
Right.
private servers because you don't want to admit that to me, and now and there are a bunch of things in the background happening that I don't get to engaging because you don't have the nuts to just say it to my face. And I don't like that. I don't like that
Yeah.
dynamic for friendship. Just be open about it.
But also, it's like I feel like if like what's so crazy to me is you had the capacity to like if they were to come to you and say these things, I know for a fact you would have reflected, analyzed what's going on, figured out how you could like better fit into whatever dynamic they wanted, can then consider, do I actually want to fit into that dynamic? Like you could have
Mhm,
had a conversation either just with yourself, but also with like them too, of like
mhm.
stuff going forward. And it would have like been so much better for everyone involved. Like,
Of course, yeah,
you know,
because you
like
are shining
it's
the mirror up to me, and I get to look at the mirror and see, oh, this is how you
I,
see me,
I like what I see.
and
Yeah.
I get to sort of adjust based on how you see me. Um,
Yeah.
or I get to think about, oh, should I adjust to fit into this dynamic? Is this a fair expectation? Or oh, there are just different group dynamics, and I understand that. Maybe I can understand that Yezi had his own for a long time he was into, but he also had his own server that I wasn't invited to. I can understand that talking to me, just I'm just not. I'm gonna make fun out of particular interests that
Yeah.
people have, or not even make fun. It's not even a making fun out. It's just like a serious critique of him playing
Yeah.
shiny Pokemon. That was a big critique. And
Yeah.
he was really into it at the time, so I can tell. I can tell that that's probably really hard to hear, especially for him, where this guy is a guy that
Yeah.
cannot handle criticism at himself, but he's very very happy in making it to other people. So that probably hurt him a lot.
Yeah.
Um, but I can understand that.
You stand
Yeah.
by it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm
You
not gonna
stand by
change
saying
for
it.
you.
Like, it's not like a matter of like, yeah, it's not a matter of like, oh, well, and, Yazzie, if Yazzie would just take me back, I would never critique shiny Pokemon ever again.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah. That's
Never.
how I stand, and I can understand
Yeah.
that I wouldn't be part of your group. Um and
Oh, but yeah, but that's what's crazy about the zoo thing is because I don't see that at all happen. I don't know. That's why I'm not a big fan of Trickies right now. I don't know what's going on in general with all that stuff. It feels like
mhm,
a lot of stuff's fake, clearly. There's like a weird level of secrecy taking place if you're getting ousted, if you're
mhm,
leaving. And again, the part that made me freak the fuck out, because I was pissed about this shit, it was like
me
the
too.
fact that no one had asked,
Oh
like
yeah, no,
why,
they
like
asked me. Yeah.
no one had asked you about leaving zoo. And I'm like, dude, what was weird to me is I was like, dude, where's Fleur? Because like, yeah, he hasn't talked in zoo. Like he's always talking to zoo. Like, why is he not in zoo? Like it was,
Yeah.
and it was like Wonder being like, oh yeah, he left zoo. I messaged him, and I'm like, oh, what? And I'm like, okay, I gotta message him, be like, why'd you leave soon? Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah,
Like,
it was you and
and
one
you're
of
like,
the
not
only
even.
people that ask.
Yeah, and he was like, dude, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Clearly,
And everyone, when I messaged, they're like, yo, he left. That's crazy. And I'm like, how would we not notice this? Like, how would? There's something about that to me. That's.
oh, you wouldn't notice, and then you said, "Whoa, why did he leave?" Didn't even message for a while after he sent the message. It's been like weeks or maybe a month after.
Yeah.
And yeah, to me, so when he sent me that, I was thinking, I've seen the level of just to me, you're just fraudulent.
There's something so
And
fraudulent.
that concern did not feel, yeah, it was just completely affected. And so I didn't respond. And he actually messaged me recently, and he was saying, "Oh, look, this one YouTuber we were watching, he was covering a manga, and he said, oh, look at this thing that we both bonded over." I'm just thinking, nah, I don't buy it. Yeah, well, I mean, I buy the attempt to
Repair.
reestablish some
Or,
sort of
yeah.
friendship with me, but no, I don't want to. I don't want to talk to you. But animosity.
It's okay. That might change. Who knows? But
Mhm.
who knows? But sorry, you guys say something else.
I don't. I probably won't talk to Trickies in any big capacity ever again. I don't see it when I draw a line in the sand. It's probably for a really long time. Because it's not. For me, it's. I really like my friendships, and I get a lot of fulfillment from engaging in friendships. But I also have a lot of fulfillment from things that I do personally, and so I can disengage from a friendship and go, okay,
Yeah.
I have my own things that I can just
Yeah.
obsess over, and that can fill my time, and I'm still gonna feel hurt, but it's not gonna affect me drastically as though, oh wow, I read like for EXE, it's he wants to sit in a Discord call all day just talking to people, and for him being disconnected from friends, that really fucks up with his cognitive. So
Oh yeah.
we have very different reactions to friendships. And I think I'm just off the norm in general. I don't know what makes me off the norm, but I think people would be a little bit more upset or feel animosity.
Right.
And I felt stronger animosity towards other people. And it just to reanalyze what's happening with Zoo. I think I just got frozen out in favor of
Ender.
Ender, yeah, and just hearing EXE. So you didn't hear what EXE said, but he said, I just really like Zoo right now. It just feels like the old days, yeah, there's no Galactic, but and there's just he's writing anime reviews and he's gonna be posting on YouTube. And then when I heard that, it was just,
are you
in
kidding
my
me?
head, I'm going,
are you kidding? Wait, I need to take a step back for a second. Are you saying that Ender is going to be writing anime reviews and posting it on YouTube?
That's exactly what I heard.
Did you say that?
Yes, I absolutely did say that.
That is fucking crazy to Niraj, dude. Dude, that ice cream flavor could be any kind of flavor. You know what I'm saying? That fucking, it could be anything. It's like, bro, like it's like someone's stepping on this. It's like it's ice cream. He's like, yeah, dude, me too, dude. I like it better that way. I like it better with it all stomped on. Like I like the foot taste of the ice cream. That's what he's saying.
It's funny
You know what I mean?
Exactly what you were talking about when you said ice.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The fucking dude, oh my god. And we called it ahead of time too, dude. We were like, yo, like this is not who you are, but like also you've been shaped, like you're just gonna be shaped by every group you're part of in this way. Like it's obvious, right? Like, I don't know. To me, that seems obvious that the strongest influence on this guy is the one that's the one that's determinative. I feel like. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely shaped by his environment, and he allows himself to be shaped by his environment because that's a tricky thing. He's just sort of copy and pasted a big tricky thing where oh yeah, that's the guy that writes anime reviews and posts them on YouTube.
That's fucking sick, dude. Do that. That's fucking cool. Do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's fucking cool. I love that. But it's so ironic given everything else that's context. No continuity, and to me that's suspicious. Like, to me, continuity, even if just like for example, like one of the things that I think is very continuous about me is like questioning and critique. Like I'm not stopping. Like the moment, like I had it happen where there's like it's kind of a tangent, but there's this Marxist philosopher guy that I follow, and he made a lot of really good critiques of kind of Western intellectuals and stuff that I really fuck with. And then he's coming over and he's bringing these guys over from China, right? and they're talking about China in ways that to me sound so uncritical. Like all of a sudden we just turned off our critique because now we're talking about like an official enemy of the United States. Like when it comes to the United States or the West, we have all of these critiques. And you know, I was reading because I'm reading Das Kapital by with Orbic this summer. We're on like chapter 22 right now, and like we're reading about Marxism, right? And a lot of his critiques are of like the factory conditions and like the sweatshop conditions and like the way that humans are like used as kind of fodder for this like grand machine of accumulation. And I'm like, dude, I'm looking at the Chinese labor system, and and Orbic was like, he was the first one to notice this, but he's like, dude, it's the like Marx would hate this. Like, this is not something he is at all like when he's describing British boys in phosphorus factories being unable to like breathe in real air and only like destroy their lungs. Like, he's not supporting that. Like when he's talking about the like when we're talking about like child laborers in like China, like we shouldn't be supporting that if we're calling ourselves Marxist in any way. Like, and what I realized is the continuity is critique. Like, what people are going to try to do with me is they're going to be like, yeah, for sure, like fuck America, fuck these, but like China, dude, like that's where the real future is. Like potential for socialism, the biggest socialist party in the country, in the world. Like they have 300 million members, and I'm looking at their fact that they only have one legally approved union in the country, only one union in the country that is literally used as a way to control the wages of workers, that people cannot leave certain zones they're born into because they have an internal labor control system. I'm looking at the fact that they have like decades of a crazy one-child policy that was the most like the inverse of the most aggressively conservative mindset. It's like this, it's like a mirror image of the most aggressively conservative anti-abortion American mindset that restricts women's liberty.
Way older, by the way. The
whole
one-child policy, that's or not just the philosophy.
It was response to
one-child policy. What'd you say?
It was a response to famine, though, right? It was like at first it was like in the moment though, like when it was implemented, was they're like, well, the Great Leap Forward caused famine, a lot of starvation. We need to limit the population so we don't experience that again as we grow economically. Like on some level, there's like a rationality to it, but then the result was like a crazy sexist policy. That's like again one of the most vile things I've ever read about, like in terms of the way they would like forcibly sterilize women, the way they would tear down houses of people who were found to violate and have multiple children, like the way that this didn't apply to a lot of the rich people. They could have as many children they wanted. I was like, this is as corrupt as anything I've read about. And it bothers me so much when I would hear these philosophers who were so critical and so smart about American power and about American abuse of workers and about American like ravaging of the environment. And then we're just like, oh, China, yeah, it's the biggest communist party. I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking? Like, they're like, oh, America claims freedom and democracy as its ideals. Oh yeah, China's absolutely a communist country. I'm like, what are we talking about right now? What the fuck are we even like? So there's some like, to me, the continuity is critique. You know what I mean? For me, I will never like, that's never going to turn off. Like for me, I can't like, that's fundamental to me. Like, I don't know what you think about your own continuity, but like to me, it's got to be critique. I'm not turning that shit off no matter who it is, like what it is. I want to know what's going on with it. If it's unjust, I want to fucking call that shit out. I don't give a fuck. Like that's just the way it is. Like,
of course, yeah. Good. Good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good having a sense of, especially if it's yeah, because I do notice that people's in terms of for anything it's just a political thing, but people's sort of spidey senses just completely turn off. Completely inhibited, sorry. Which is probably why I'm really reluctant because I just don't understand a lot. I don't know if I'm really, I don't know how other people would describe me, but I don't really feel that political in terms of, I don't feel as if I have one grand view to view the world, just because I'm really, in terms of just even political structures, don't even really understand how, maybe like historical ones on, a fairly surface level, probably more in depth than the ones that exist right now, but even like economic structure, I really have no idea. And I think it's really easy to get sucked up in, somebody's saying something that's really sounds alluring to me. And I noticed that getting sucked into that is that there are particular critiques that sound really poignant, and then when they're pointed at themselves or at somebody that's around within their or I don't even know like who the
ideological
like
their ideological circle, like they're like in like a fellow traveler, like a similar like person, it turns off.
Hold on,
right?
let me go. Yeah, it turns off. Yeah. And so yeah, really, I think I think everyone, even I would like to say this. I probably definitely have my blind spots in terms of, I do like to ask questions. I am fairly inquisitive in terms of, I like to hold back before I make a massive judgment. That's why it took me a
Sure.
really long time for to pause any sort of confrontation with Zoo, or even talk to EXE how I felt about
Sure.
certain things, because I am ruminating in terms of, am I really justified in feeling this way? I have to gather my
Right.
arguments and make the strongest point possible. So I know, and even talk to you, because I did rely on you and your outrage that you felt, and go, okay, maybe I should feel a little bit more
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
towards this. Maybe yeah, maybe a little bit more indignation. Funny enough, Jivney is messaging me.
Yeah.
No, not about anything that interesting. Just Street Fighter. That I sent him. We actually engaged with something. That's nice.
Let's go. Let's go. Shout out. Right.
Yeah. It just sucks that it's only going to be Street Fighter or any fighting game thing related. So I was trying to tell him about this game, Clair Obscur, that I'm playing through, and one thing I really appreciate about Trickies is that he will kind of just let me sit there and talk about something, and he will actually engage with
Yeah.
what I'm saying. He'll go like, "Oh,
Absolutely.
I actually think this is actually really cool." I was like, "Wow, I really appreciate about that." I was telling him about this. I was thinking of making a game. Actually, really weird. That's kind of similar to this Clair Obscur game, or at least like in superficial ways, in terms of going to a different landmass and then sort of finding really different cultures that are very different. And I got this idea from looking at how we engage with pylons, and it's sort of just, we view it as a technology, and so it's
Pylon.
built very minimalist.
Can you
It's
explain what a pylon is? How we engage with?
so our wait, you know what a pylon is?
No, I don't know if we
Oh,
have that.
the things that carry
Oh,
electricity.
yeah. Okay, no, I
What would you
recognize these
call them?
absolutely. Yes, I know what these are. Yes, I don't know. I don't know what I call these even. Like I just
Oh,
say like, oh, those are power lines. Yeah, I don't know that.
oh, power lines. Yeah, okay, yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard of power lines. Um, yeah,
I
so
see. Yeah, boom.
well, that looks really cultured, but do you see
Yeah,
how
no, that's what I always see that. I always see that GIF whenever I'm driving by the electrical plants. So that's
yeah,
exactly what I
exactly.
see.
Yeah, really cultured. But I was these in terms of other societies, if they saw these pylons, they would probably ascribe a lot of, because they don't understand, they don't have the same education as
Right.
us, and so they're inhibited in that way. They would see these as very magical in terms of like, whoa, these are giving us, we had to get flint and steels for our furnaces or whatever, and
Yeah, yeah.
I can just have these power lines. And so what would their interaction be with these things?
Reverence,
So I
maybe.
thought they'll
Yeah,
probably
worship.
have a, yeah, they'll probably be mini temples.
Yeah.
Maybe not like the main temple, maybe the power station would be the main temple, but they would be the sort of these like miniature temples. They'll probably be painted and adorned with all sorts of incredible I don't know, talismans, or candles, or whatever the society worship. So that's why I got the idea is, what would other people's engagement be with these magical things? Because I think we're very I guess like minimalist philosophically, in terms of, oh,
Absolutely.
this is just a
Very
just sort
literalist.
of
Very, yeah.
austere utilitarian,
Yeah.
and this is just meant to serve a function, rather than be some sort of wow, we really appreciate this, we show our appreciation for the ability for electricity to be transmitted to our house. Completely lacking that at all. And so another civilization that is a little bit more in awe of, wow, this is crazy, we get electricity. So I was thinking more of, maybe there was a fallen civilization, and then they took this other civilization took over the
Mm.
previous infrastructure, and then this infrastructure, or maybe, I don't know. I haven't really thought of a backstory as to how pylons are here, and how this other civilization that's on top of another civilization's endeavors, why they're there. But I was thinking more of the engagement, and so these
Yeah.
monks that are just these sick, they actually live on these pylons. They're adept climbers, they're really good at climbing. They haven't built particular infrastructure, because it's a skill to climb these pylons.
Right. Right. Okay.
and it's sort of, you know, a rite of passage of, okay, can you climb all the way to the top of the pylon with, you know, without falling down, without getting shocked? And that's a rite of passage of,
Right.
okay, yeah, you can become, you know, some sort of, you know, religious figure, or even just and because the society to be fairly, you know, religious, that's sort of a rite of passage for all able adepts. I was telling that to Tricky, said he was really fascinated. He said, "Oh, that's probably the best thing that you've come up with so far." I was telling him some other stuff, and
I
he was saying,
love
"Yeah,
that.
really, yeah, just had really good engagement with that." But I tell the same thing to EXE, and it's just, yeah, yeah, yeah. So what? I'm not gonna engage with this because I thought that was a really sick idea. It felt like I was being shut down. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate. I really appreciate that about Trickies, and I can't stop, even though things ended badly, and I was frozen
Right.
out.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I can't
Like,
stop thinking about the, you know, positive um, experiences that I had, that I don't really get from many people, where
mhm.
you just let me uninterrupted talk for you for maybe 2 hours about something that you might not even care about, and yet you still engage with me. That's cool. I enjoy that a
Yeah,
lot.
that's really cool. And that's really open-minded and like a willing to suspend their own sense of like what things should be and be like, huh, like, wait, this could be a way. And yeah, like I'm just imagining them like scaling the like I'm trying to think like what word they would use for the like electric god, like the like the because it's almost like a mini like a bishop. It's almost like the tower is like a bishop of like the electric god or something. You know, like they're like
Yeah.
because they themselves like they're transmitting. So it's like to be a bishop of the electric god, you need to scale the like manifestation of like the bishop. You know what I mean? Like the
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the tower of the electric god or something. Like I love
Yeah.
that. That's fucking
Yeah.
sick. Yeah, and I could totally see how a culture would have that relationship. But you were saying that the game you're playing now has like a similar set of kind of because like it's going to another land and like you're like
Mm-hmm.
exploring how like a different culture like manifests in this different environment with like different
So,
creatures and incentives and stuff.
so
Like that's
my
like how,
idea for the game was you're on a different continent. Yeah, it's sort of
right.
a kind of like a crash landing, basically. So, where it's a world that just everything hasn't been explored yet. It's just of that time. Um, and obviously technology isn't going to reflect, you know, you know, we think of pylons as, okay, this is a
A thing for a purpose, like a very direct thing for a direct
oh no,
purpose.
I was
Yeah.
thinking more of, you know, a lot of sci-fi or fantasy or adjacent genres, when they depict societies, they sort of have the same technology as we would have around that time, in terms of, okay, we're
Yeah.
doing a Napoleonic era fantasy. It's okay, well, it's just it sort of evolved to have the same technology as we would have, you know, sim sort of the culture is also the same. It's all in equilibrium, whereas that's probably not going to be the case. And so
No.
we associate pylons as, okay, you've explored the whole world, because that's just,
Right.
we have, our society has pylons when the whole world is explored. But I was thinking, okay, yeah, but maybe that's just not the case, and so there is this, you know, massive unexplored continent that exists. Maybe they're even from a different planet. Who the fuck knows? I haven't really thought about that, but yeah, massive unexplored continent, and or island. I don't know how big the scale is going to be. But yeah, just massive land mass basically, and they are exploring it because they have crash landed. So it's quite a different premise
Well, I mean,
from.
there's so many. No, but there's so many ways you could do that that would make a lot of sense in terms of like a nuclear war where the only people left are people who are like the descendants of the like it's like only the like eighth generation of New Zealanders were able to actually
Basically.
not be in an environment of like cancer born and like radiological illness and the the nuclear apocalypse like wiped out a significant amount of infrastructure. A lot of stuff's been looted and destroyed. And like there's just all this lost knowledge of like the ancients, you know, in the time
Yeah.
before the Great War. And they don't really know what the cause of that was. And like they're like, okay, we're gonna go to like the mainland of like Japan or something. And like they're coming across these like massive monolith structures. And they're just like so unsure because like any place in New Zealand, for example, that because like that's one of the places that actually would survive a nuclear war, but it actually is still a base where there's like U.S. troops and like and like operations that would go out of. So militaristically speaking, part of it would still be destroyed, right? So the only people that would be surviving would be the descendants who, like 8 generations in, had developed enough radiation resistance or like survived in some way because the life expectancy is going to drop to like 30 or 40. You know what I mean? So it's going to quickly lose a lot of knowledge that these humans have built up. And then like the ones that are going to survive are the ones who are like the like rural, non-city based ones that weren't hit by the nukes directly because they would still be hit by nukes. They just wouldn't be hit by as many. So that you could totally imagine that. And then they have to like this like future generation has to basically explore our technological landscape, which was like frozen in time. And then, yeah, they would develop like fucking a warship of these pylons when they figured out what it did and what it does and all that. Like, that's so sick. I love that.
Yeah. And in Claire Obscure, I don't, apparently the story is big plot twist in the story, and I just haven't got that far yet. And so I don't know. But yeah, that you come off this island. I'm pretty sure you're in an island in the middle of the ocean, and you get to this continent, and this continent is very different in terms of the way it has a very particular visual profile, where if I showed you a picture of this, you go, oh, that's just really distinct, you know.
I think I've seen it. I mean, it looks very distinct. Yeah.
Yes. And that is sort of what I would you know, if I made a game or just even envisioned an environment, I definitely would want it to have a very distinct profile. You know, I'm fed up with the, you know, medieval
100%.
castles and, you know, lush green grass.
Elves, dude.
Elves too, yeah, fuck that. I want something that is clearly distinct, but also it talks about the particular lack of enthusiasm for cool looking stuff that we have in our society. We just have these massive gray pylons that exist. That kind of sucks. I really don't like that. Wish they had some more life. I want these monks. Give me these monks. To, you know, do weird, really dangerous rituals where, you know, there's 1 in 5 people dying.
Yeah. But no, but they see that as evidence. No, but they would see that as evidence of it being really an effective true ritual because, you know, because a lot of people who end up trying to take on this, like, it'll be like have more prestige that it's dangerous, exactly. I would say. A lot of these, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the similarities were basically, yeah, the main characters that are going to a continent where the culture is very very different. That's where the similarities end. That's why I compare the two. I was just looking for, yeah, very, very super, sort of like oh yeah, we both watch anime, but you don't engage with it in anywhere near the same way as I do. It's just a superficial thing. There's not really much to go beyond that point. I forgot how I even got the.
Well, no, we were talking about various things, like from Tricky's having at least an engagement with things that felt kind of like at least generative, like helpful, and like maybe he wasn't like leading things, but he was like understanding and pitching in a way that took seriously what you were saying.
Yeah.
Right. And then I guess before that, you were saying that EXE like messaged you, but it's about the fighting game thing, and you're like, it sucks. It's only gonna be about the fighting thing, and you're like, one thing Tricky's did that.
Yeah. I do remember that part.
I mean,
but how did I get on? How did I get? Who the fuck has that? Let the conversation flow. Do you have anything?
Yeah. Sorry. What one random thing that was coming to my mind when that I kind of forgot about this, but I don't know if I ever told you about kind of like my. And it's been like an evolving understanding, but I definitely recognize some of the way that EXE kind of, I don't know, felt in myself when I was like 16, kind of towards Stret. Like when I had like met Stret when I was like 16, 15, I was like, fucking finally someone who's like smart, who like gets shit, who like knows shit that's like interesting. Like that's how I'm thinking at the time. I'm not thinking like any level of depth. I'm just being like, oh, this guy's fucking smart. He knows shit. Like this is cool. And then there was a period of time when I was like 17 that he kind of, because of like his own life stuff happening, like wasn't online as much. And like, I wanted to talk to this guy as much as I could and constantly. And then he kind of wasn't online, but then I would like see him play Rocket League. and I would like essentially like cyber stalk him a little bit,
Mm.
um, like a lot of it, and like find his like coworkers' Steam accounts and like
That's
figure
good.
like figure out like when like what job he's at and like why he's not there anymore. And eventually I figured out he was at a job, right? And that there's like reasons, but then I still felt abandoned and betrayed because he's like playing with these other people, but not with me. But then I realized like, oh well, they're playing with his coworkers. But
Mhm.
yeah, like I was very much doing the like psycho stocky thing. And
Mhm.
I never really talked about it with Strat that I did that. Or like because I stayed friends with him for a little bit. I stayed friends from like 18 to like 22, like 21 kind of thing with him.
Mhm.
But yeah, I like also would say that I really value that friendship. And like that was probably one of the most important friendships I've ever had in my entire life, still to this day, even in retrospect. And so it's one of those things where it's like when it is that impactful, people go a little crazy. Like it like just in fairness to him, you know, trying to really be critical of myself and think this stuff through. Like it's not like I haven't done something. It's not like I've done that in a similar way, but like to that extent of just really being infatuated with someone and caring about them and like wanting to be around them constantly. Like I felt that, and it does feel bad when you feel betrayed and like the other person doesn't want to be around you as much. But again, for Shed, it was like, of course, the like friendship with like a fucking teenager in the U.S. isn't taking priority over his job, right? Like, duh, like of course. But as a kid, I didn't get that, you
Right.
know. Like as a kid, I
I
didn't
should
get
have
that.
taken priority. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it should only been about Niraj all the time. It should have been staying up to 3 a.m. with Niraj every day, like fucking.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
know,
that's pretty funny.
yeah, like that's been. I don't know. I thought about writing him because I just like I want to tell him how important he was as a friend
Mhm.
at some point, like just because he really was, and like
Yeah,
a
he
lot of the way.
definitely needs
Because
to
like
hear
also
that.
another thing is
You
like
know.
I was probably so vulnerable to being like taken advantage of in like a sexual sense by an older suave person who I respected. Like I was like as at that age, like there was probably like I've looked back at that being like because I was surprised the number of people that I became aware of that were taken advantage of in a sexual way by people they met online. It's very common in ways
Can
that
you
I was very
disclose that? Because I don't know if I know anyone or I've just not
yeah,
gotten close to.
I
And
can't, I can't
okay,
disclose it, but it's a number above 8, right? So it's a number
okay.
that's shocking. And I was telling someone else when they told me, because when they told me that this was an experience they had, I was like, dude, I've had so many fucking people, like IRL, but also online, tell me that
Mhm.
when they were younger, they were like abused in some way, in like some way. And I'm like, every time I have it, I'm like, there's not going to be another. There's no way another person is going to also have this experience that I have known for a while and
Mhm.
it's just going to come out of nowhere and hit me with it. And I'm like, it always does. Another person always does. It always turns out someone else does. And yeah, like it can take various ranges, you know, it can take various um like forms from just like grooming to exchanging like, you know, sexual kind of photos and stuff. It can be various different things, but like I was super vulnerable to that. Like I totally could have totally happened to me. But
Mhm.
like Stroud was so fucking cool and like so nice and so like he'd never like I would say something about how like oh I feel like I'm not like other kids and like I feel like they don't want to like think about the things I want to think about and be smart in the way that I am. And his first response was to kind of hear me out and take seriously. And then his second response was to be like, hey, look at all these people who think they're smart but they're retarded. Like let's look at all these people who think they're smart but are actually stupid people and like notice how saying you're smart is like actually a kind of a thing a stupid person does and like notice how you should like demonstrate that rather than saying it. And isn't it kind of pathetic? And like, I'm like, that's exactly what I should have been told at that moment. You know, it's a
Yeah,
perfect advice.
that was
It's
yeah.
perfect. Like perfect fucking strategy about that. So I'm like, so much of the way that I'm engaging with people that are younger than me, I've just ripped from the way Strat engaged with me. Like I just got so fucking lucky. Like
Mhm.
so lucky. And I acknowledge that, you know?
I think
But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I think zombies is really different because when I started with Minecraft, and
Right.
I was maybe 16 before I got way more invested into zombies, and in Minecraft, we were all kind of the same age. Um,
Yeah.
a lot of the community, I don't remember anyone. It was weird for somebody to be 18. It's like, what? You're 18? What? I can't believe this guy's still
Thank you,
playing.
bro.
I remember my friend told
Thank
me
you,
was,
bro.
man, this guy's still playing fucking Minecraft at 18. What the fuck? So
Yeah.
that was old to us in our little
Right.
Minecraft Hunger Games community. Yeah, it's not little, probably big, probably way bigger than zombies in terms of active participation, and definitely in terms of people that view the game. Um, so maybe it happened, but because we were all the same age, there wasn't that one adult guy that could come in there and be suave and be really good at navigating friendships and then sexually exploit somebody because that age range didn't exist. But I know in other PvP game modes like pot PvP that did happen. That has happened several times now over the years. At least claims of it. And especially when people got
I'm
older
telling you,
too.
it's happening constantly. It's happening constantly in secret. Like people,
Mhm.
especially people who are poor, they'll often exchange like the things they have for things they want. And like if someone has like a wealth of digital items, they can often use those digital items to get sexual things from people who don't have money. Like
Fuck, it's always the poor people. It
literally
sucks.
that are getting exploited. It does.
Yeah.
But they're the most, but it's just like logically speaking, like they're the ones also most willing in the moment because they have no other option. Like it's a complex thing. It's like not all, it's not even that they're necessarily always being taken advantage of, which I think they are, but it's like they also would see it as like being smart in the way they trade what they have
Mm-hmm.
for what they want. Like it's complicated. Like it's not the candy, it's
Mm-hmm.
never like the so
And it's just a metaphor for
yeah,
whatever the fuck
enticement and
social,
bribery and
yeah,
trading
social
and
status
exchanging.
or.
Yeah, exactly. And
Mhm.
you know, it was not uncommon for like an apprentice master thing to be a sexual thing as well. Like it's historically a very complex thing. But thank God that never happened to me. I just dodged so many bullets. Like I'm so happy about that because like also I probably would have been down with it. Like I also just in retrospect, like the moment that I was in it, like I probably would have just knowing myself. I'm like I would have been like that would have been something that I would have been down with, and I'm so glad that what didn't happen. Like that's so fucking sick. Like I dodged the
That,
shit out of that.
this just reminded me of the conversation I had with Yaka. Where it was
Yeah, the milk thing.
the 13
Yeah,
year
the
old
teacher.
teacher, and he
Yeah,
said
the
he would high
teacher milk
five
thing.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
to me that
But
was.
like think of it, I'm not talking about it in a sexual way. I mean in the sense that like, oh, here's a person. So I'm like 16. I'm like a kind of 16, 17. Like I'm kind of a, alone in a lot of ways. I feel alone in the world. Oh, here's a person that I feel that's like at my level, that understands me, that's guided me, that shaped me. I'm like, I love this person. And what that love could have turned into, I don't know. Right. But I'm just glad it never was even prompted or even thought of in that way. And I'm just so glad I could develop it outside of a sort of, you know, worship type relationship type thing, And I'm so glad he never treated me badly or was, directed me in weird ways. It was just always very useful and considered and thoughtful and long paragraphs and just it was awesome and like so
Even
helpful and
outside the
like
sexual stuff, it's not so you're not presenting him as somebody that revels in the, oh yeah, I am the boss. I am the boss. I
no,
have this apprentice under my wing.
never,
Um,
never.
yeah, that sound.
Like he was so humble and so
Mhm.
like considered and refusing to ever claim something unless he knew like for sure and all these different ways he knew it was true and like the
Mhm.
only criticism I had with him, and I would joke about this, is his like collecting of like gamer trinkets he would get on Reddit. Like he would collect these like
Wait,
gamer
what?
trinkets on Reddit. Yeah, he would like collect these like gamer trinkets on Reddit. These
Like what?
like I don't know, no, like Rubik's cubes with like specialized like functions that weren't that you couldn't even play with them, but they were just like a cool Rubik's cube. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean? Like you couldn't play with it, you couldn't do things with it, but it was like a like Rubik's cube with like I don't know, different like object dimensions,
Mhm.
like you know, like pyramids in some of the places, and like like some of the sides were pyramids, some of the sides were hexagons, some of the sides were you had to like so just stuff like that, like just kind of what I thought is kind of just like like plastic trash kind of type shit, like
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
like you would get like a lot of efficiency stuff, like like, you know, specialized water bottles with like really like he thought himself as basically like a smarter consumer. And again, but we would joke about this. Like this wasn't something he hid from. It was like we would joke about the idea of like the person looking up like the Reddit community of the object they're going to buy before they buy it and finding what is considered in that community the best object to buy, as like thinking of yourself as like a kind of superior consumer for that in some way when you're just consuming in the same way, but you're just like getting a slightly better object relative to everyone else, but you're just doing the same thing. Like it's like I like that was only criticism I had. But
if it's a water bottle, that sounds like something that you are just gonna get anyway.
yeah.
So, it would have to be something really...
No, but he's getting like the specialized like this like there's a gun that measures thermal retention and like a laser that measures thermal retention. He's like getting the one that some guy tested to have the best thermal. Like he's so smart. Like he's so smart, but it's like funny also to like see him still do the same thing everyone else is doing despite being so smart, but just in a way that's smarter. You know, like it's like that's what I always thought was like kind of like endearing. Like it was endearing that he's like thinking in some way of being like, oh no, but I'm doing this at like a higher. But dude, he was a rock climber. Side note, a similar thing to he's like actually major rock climber. Like he's doing like rock climbing, like scaling, like facades of walls and stuff like that, like full on like cliff side rock climbing type shit. So you fuck with that.
Crafted Sam.
Same thing. Yeah, dude, that guy's awesome too. That guy's smart as fuck. Too transactional though. I couldn't be his friend, but because he just really kept wanting to play zombies. Whenever I would talk to him, it was just all about zombies, and I got so bored with it. So
that's the only thing I knew about him.
Yeah,
I
rock climbing.
I hardly knew that he rock climbed. That was just the level of friendships that I had. That's why most of them just don't exist, because they were just, oh yeah, we just play zombies together, and then oh wait, kind of it's just that the wind flows, and now that I'm not playing a game, or I don't have a specific way to bond over things. I mean, I do, but it's not a very direct thing of, oh, we're in a zombies community, and so we're already on. There is no small talk. It's just, oh yeah, did you see that retard fell? Yeah, that down. It's very easy to get into a conversation with somebody. In fact, it kind of always stayed at that level for most people too, which kind of sucked.
It does suck.
But now that I'm out of that, is I actually have to learn how to talk to people, and it's not just, oh, retard that down, and yeah, I don't even know how to even begin to extract how to talk to somebody, sorry, not how to talk to somebody, extract what somebody's just like real interests are in a particular thing, and because I'm from a very just the internet in general, but a group that has honed their friendship through, you know, arguing with each other a lot of the time, and that's how these are. Now that I told you this earlier, but I realized that at least with the content I watch, it is just masculine. It is just very much, and I don't mean masculine in terms of big muscles. I mean masculine in terms of these are centered around guys, and so they have a lot of guy traits within them, and that just because I, you know, engage with things that women would also engage in, that doesn't mean I'm probably not that feminine. I am probably actually just have the same masculine quirks of I do feel in touch with my emotions. I don't know. I really do. I do feel like I consider them, but maybe I just don't feel them intensely like women do, and I don't navigate those conversations in the same way as a woman does. And I do think about my emotions a lot, because emotions are something that can arise from things that are not perfectly rational. That's why, you know, I don't want to get,
totally.
you know, if I'm upset at something, I can't just start screaming at somebody. So, oh fuck, wow, that's just probably really uncouth behavior. So when it comes to navigating conversation with people that are not within the same space, I don't even have anything immediately to talk about, or at least this might be a deficit. This might be my own deficit in terms of I can't find something to communicate with, and that would be very contextual. But when I talk to somebody new, it's very much, oh, I can't talk, I can't even use the same jokes because I can make
Right.
jokes with you because you are, when you talk about the ice cream, it's
Yeah, the
just
context.
wow,
Yeah. Boom,
that's really
instant.
funny.
Yeah, context.
Um,
Yeah.
and it sucks when maybe people also might use insight, especially when you're the when you're the out group and you're walking into
Yeah.
something that's already pre-established. If you go to a club or something, and then they have their own in-group humor, and I'm I don't know if this is if this is a good trait or it could be problematic in some context. But if something is not funny, I'm not gonna fake laugh. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
of course.
so stoic. I just no, you didn't make me laugh. Because to me it's oh this is real life, and so I can show you that I'm not laughing. That's not funny, and you probably
Right.
shouldn't make those kind of jokes. It's just sort of a subtle signal, and I go, no, that's not funny.
Ah,
I'm signaling to you that I didn't find it funny. Then I don't feel included
right.
in what the fuck joke you made. Mm. And it does take effort from other people, but I don't know how to extract any sort of I don't even know how to begin just in general if I'm in a conversation. I don't know how to extract a conversation that I think is worth having for me. Um,
Hmm. Well, definitely it's tough if it's not your main language. I'll say that. Like if it's
mm,
not English, I mean that's gonna be tough. Like it's just gonna be tough to have.
possible.
It's so tough, dude. And like, okay, so in English though, like practical advice wise, I don't have a lot of it. I would say that it's mainly about trying to hear where that like energy or enthusiasm or like quickening of speech or like extra maybe like not as loud as usual like surprisingly loud like moment of exclamation of like yeah,
Yeah.
like those moments of that's when you've like hit some sort of area or vein that's like
Mm,
they can vibe with. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the closest in terms of like just in a really practical general sense. How do you know when you're in a place where you're like people are really interested in this? It's
mm,
got to be that you just listen for those like cues. Like
mm.
and in terms of like connecting with people though and like finding them in the first place to even have that moment, like that's tough too. Like that's also tough. Like just to find people to talk to in the first place is tough. And then
Mm.
being in a context where you can actually freeform explore and it's not bounded by some like external rule, but you can actually explore that area of interest they like that's tough too. It's not always easy to do.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that isn't easy. But I find, yeah, I don't feel nervous talking to people. It's very easy
Yeah.
for me to talk to people. And I've always found it easy throughout my whole life to talk to people because I've always
Yes.
made fast friends. But now that I'm defining relationships differently, um, it's making me seek different levels of friendship. I
Actually, yeah.
want, I do want somebody that is a little bit, or just passionate in general about particular things. And I don't know if I'm maybe approaching that wrong in terms of EXE had this for, and he was saying, oh, it was EXE or Galactic, where I think Tricky's was telling me a conversation that they had about the internet, and Tricky's was relaying to me that they kind of just feel that it's either EXE or Galactic or both, where they feel that people in real life are NPCs, and
Yeah.
don't think that's the case. Um, but I think it could be the case. It could be the case that a lot of people just are NPCs. And this is just not a real life person thing. But I've had from school friends, had really good friendships with people from school. And I know EXE didn't. And I've seen and I've heard a heartbreaking story from EXE where he got rejected by a person that he thought was his best friend in terms of engaging with a particular thing that he liked, and that person didn't really want to. I've had people that have had insane interest in what I care about. And you know, like when my first best friend, he got me into Pokemon, and I just showed insane interest into that, and we were just so passionate about it, and we would fight each other, argue with each other. It was a very passionate friendship. And
Dope. That's
I
dope.
would,
I see how formative that would be.
yes, well, yeah, one of my major hobbies, and probably first forays into Japanese that I had as a kid
Yeah,
because 6 months
right. True.
release release date gap, and so my friend was playing the games on emulator in Japanese. Or
Oh
with
wow.
like a
Okay.
shitty translation patch that wouldn't even translate everything, and so I didn't want to play on the translation patch because you could only name your Pokemon 4 letters, and that was a really big part of Pokemon for me, which is naming them a bunch of different really cool
Yeah, yeah.
names.
Go this person, or hey, this friend you know, or this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I would think of very thematic.
Oh,
It would
okay. No,
be,
that's even doper.
yeah. I wouldn't name. Oh, that's Gregory. So what the fuck?
Right.
This is a killing machine that I'm killing other Pokemon with, shooting thunderbolts with. If I'm calling this, this is like Zeus's, one of the women that he had an affair with. But I added, cool letters to it because you could add like smiley faces,
Right.
hearts, and all that stuff. That's the level of nicknames that I would go for, or just
I love that.
combining two really cool things. There's one where I'd call one like Water Echo because I was thinking of maybe I was thinking of sonars at the time or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I
That's been water.
named my Pokemon that, and yeah, that was the engagement I had, and so I didn't want to put on the translation patches, but fuck did I watch him play it. And was, oh, these characters look really cool. The characters, I mean the Japanese characters. That was my first foray into that. But back to the friendship thing is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
very easy friends. In all parts of my life. I don't even know how, because I always think about how did I even get into this friendship? It's that easy. It's to get into something, and it's always actually because I'm really open about my passions. I've always been that. My friend group in secondary school was because I was just talking about Call of Duty Zombies. That's just what I was talking about. Just openly talking about that, and so I was kind of a dork. I'm like, "You ever shut up about this?"
Yeah.
And so that's actually how I got into PC gaming. Was we found out about World at War customs, and
Oh,
so we would always ask each other, "Oh, did you buy World at War on PC yet?" Because we all wanted to play, and eventually, yeah, we all ended up playing it. It was a rigorous thing because I bought it on disc, and so I couldn't play with
right.
them. And then a little bit after, I found out about the patches that you could download from Activision, but then I don't even think they had them on the website at the time because I think they might have removed them. And on Steam, you could just
Oh, that's
it
funny.
just comes with the game.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I had to download them from like scuffed media filings. And I finally decided to play with them. And this was maybe 2 years after we made the pact to play World at War on PC, which is really funny that we eventually
I did.
lived our boyhood dream of playing World at War customs on the PC. But yeah, that's the level of friendship I had with these people, is that we we engage with each other's hobbies. They were very hobby based friendships. They
Sure.
weren't. I guess I don't even know if I had I definitely did have like casual well, I call them acquaintances. They're more or less acquaintances in terms of, yeah, we would chat, we'd be able to talk about things that are happening, but it's not something that you just don't share the same interests as me, so we're not taking this any further, and that's just a mutual feeling that we had.
Right.
And so, but these were kids of my generation, basically the same age as me, and so they had all the same formative experiences of, oh yeah, we also played the DS and we also all played Call of Duty. Yeah, that's kind of a kid thing. But now when I'm talking to
Yeah.
people from different countries, and we're not in the Discord space, and they're what do you call it? Sometimes I talk to people way older than me, and
Yeah.
like friends of the family, and it's just, what? I just don't have. I don't. Where do you live? And how are the places around you
Yeah.
are? And I'm feeling for anything, and I'm just not getting it. And I start obsessing over particular thing, particularities of something. So I go, so what are can you pick berries where you are? What are what are the flora like in your area? Just something to, I'm just showing
Keep
interest
it
in a
going.
particular thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I was actually asking this guy, because I heard something about German. So I was talking about the my stepdad's aunt and uncle. They have a daughter, and I actually had a really good conversation with her because
Okay, let's go.
I was talking about the obviously some
Anime.
continuity, which is the language learning thing. I did find out German is a gendered language. Like most
Right.
European
Okay.
languages, I can't believe that. Because English
So
isn't.
funny.
Um,
No, it's not.
and there are particular ways to so let's say somebody stole my jacket. I'd go and then I'm pointing in the crowd. I would go, oh, it's oh no, not pointing in the crowd, but let's say I'm really upset that somebody took my jacket. I'm just going, oh, they're such a fucking cunt. For me, I don't know
Right.
what the gender is. I don't go he's such a cunt. I don't go she's such a cunt. I
Right.
go they are such a cunt because I don't know what their gender is. But in German, you always
Cunt witch. No.
would you say?
That cunt witch. No, I don't know how
Cunt
that
bitch,
was.
yes, you're about to get
As if it's an
fucking burnt at
extreme
the
German.
stake.
It's extreme traditional German.
Yeah.
Das Witchen.
They say he and
Okay.
they if they're in terms of groups of people, if there's a group of women, you use one suffix for plural. For a group of men, you use another, but if there's a group of women with one man inside, you use the male one. And so I thought, wow, that's super bullshit. And I had an argument with my mom about this. By the way, for some reason, there is just an argument to be had there with my mom. Go, that's really bullshit, and she just doesn't care. I'm just thinking, well, how the fuck do you not care? It's like really, that's getting kind of fucked up.
That's
That
kind of
there,
crazy. Yeah.
yeah. For me, it's just I don't know how you couldn't care about that, because if it was the other way around, I would super care.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still care now, but as in I would care as if I was being directly implicated. That wait, I don't psychologically, I'm going to be thinking I'm a secondhand citizen. It's the same thing for the nibbles thing. It's just I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
secondhand here, or whatever the fuck, second class, whatever. Um, and so of course I feel that it's bullshit. And I ended up talking to his daughter. And she comes over a lot, but I just never ended up speaking to her because I'm just I'm so austere. I've got my own shit to
Yeah.
do, and so I'm not going to incorporate this person that's staying over. Wow, kind of a fucked up thing to do. But she was showing
Right.
pictures. Of she goes traveling. That was the one girl I was talking about, where she's just interested in the stars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Central
Okay. Yeah.
Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Yeah. Yeah.
of course that really piques my interest. But
Of
she
course.
was talking about China, and it was really nice because she was going, oh yeah, I went to this dam thing. Oh, Three Gorges Dam, yeah, fucking I don't know about that. Oh yeah, I went to this like.
Oh yeah.
She
And you
didn't want
guys
to sound
debated the damn thing.
racist
Yeah.
because she went to Chongqing, and I know
Okay.
she was like, oh, I don't remember the city name that well, and it sounds like Ching Chong. It's
It
like, oh okay,
it does.
Chongqing. Yeah, I know about Chongqing, so it's oh,
Yeah. That's funny.
I already know the places. Yeah, I know a bit about China. Um,
Oh yeah.
so
You do.
I can, I can find some familiarity in terms of, oh, you're naming familiar places, and the places that I don't know, it's, well, you traveled there, and you're showing us pictures, clearly you have some passion about this. And so
Yeah. That's
so
fucking
easy to
sick.
start a conversation. And she had a flight
Absolutely.
tomorrow, but we just ended up talking, and we ended up talking about the language thing too. I brought that into the conversation, and
I love that.
such an easy conversation to have with that person, because there was something to latch onto, something
Right.
in that
Right.
conversation. But a lot of people aren't as open with their passions.
Or
And
capable of engaging, even if they do have passions. Like.
would you say?
Or capable of engaging even if they do have passions. Like it sounds like she was a pretty wide range interlocutor. Like she could engage on a lot of things. It sounded like.
Exactly. Yeah. She was saying like, yeah, she in terms of the language thing, she super gave a fuck about that, but she wasn't. It wasn't just a passive thought that she had. Probably young. She's a young woman, so probably
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she reads, and so she was telling me, oh, about this one book she read about some particular thing about women in Iceland, where I don't know, maybe it was some like, it was a like fully organized walk out of or just not do anything for men or something. I don't remember what it was. I feel bad for not remembering, but it was something that was sort of on the low organized, and then the entire society of women, and Iceland is a fairly small place, so they managed to
Gotcha.
get
Yeah,
the
yeah,
entire society of women to just not engage with what they would normally do. And I think the point was is
I love
that
that.
yeah, we kind of
Like a
are
sex
really
strike.
important. Huh? What'd you say?
Like a sex strike is a thing. I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about. You're talking about more like a labor strike in some way for the
Yeah, it's
women.
kind
Like
of
it's
like a labor strike,
like,
and
like a hair like a home care strike or
yeah,
something.
exactly. But no, let's call it labor because yeah, that is
I like it.
labor.
Yeah, yeah. That is labor.
Um,
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, yeah. 100%.
and she was telling me about that, and so I go, oh, my follow-up question is, okay, so what happened to that? You know,
Yeah, did it work?
how is it? And she said, well, I imagine it was pretty effective because in terms of like the composition of government, near parity in terms of 50-50 representation. I think that's what she
Damn.
said, and I'm going, okay,
Yeah, that's good
wow,
shit.
okay, yeah, that's cool. If that's true, or if I'm
That's
remembering
dope.
that conversation properly, and
Yeah, that's dope.
yeah, it's really nice that, oh wow, you have some interest, and then you're okay with talking about them, and you can it's great when a conversation about something expands into a conversation that's adjacent, because you have conversational flow, and getting into
Exactly.
that conversational flow state where I don't go, the sky is green today. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't need to do
Yeah.
that.
No, you don't.
But that was just a rare moment of you're showing your passion, and so I can latch onto that because I'm really good at latching onto somebody's passion, and I'm inquisitive
If
enough.
it's given to you. If it's given to
Exactly.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
but some people either don't have these passions where, oh, I'm actually really kind of invested in
Yeah.
something, or they're just not open about it. And I hope it's the second one, because if it's the first one and you don't have any passions where,
That's what the
um,
NPC is to me. To me,
yeah,
that's what the NPC is
that's
because the
literally NPC.
passion is the only play you can be is the playable character, right? That's the passion is the playable character. Is like
Mm-hmm.
if you're passionate, you can be the playable character, even if it's a passion about something stupid. Like who cares? Like that's my judgment. Who cares about my judgment, right?
Farming
But like,
radar guns, that's a weird
yeah, some
passion, but
bullshit.
let's talk about that.
Yeah,
Can I
but hey,
kill somebody with
yeah,
that?
like what's going on with that? Like, can you use that for other shit? Like, can you use that to find out if people are fucking in cars? Like, what are you using that for?
That's
Like,
awesome.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, yeah, like, but like that's the thing. It's like, but yeah, so for me, the no passion is way scarier. Like,
Terrifying.
way scarier. Yeah,
That's why I can't envision a world where this could be true. This could really be true, but I don't want to envision it because it's too dull to
yeah.
think that somebody is engaging with, open their phone, Instagram, TikTok, and you
I'm
just
riding the bus.
engage
It's pretty
with.
common to see. It's pretty common. People are just engaging with. They're just on their phone, like like looking at TikTok. Like I get it's past time. I'm just what I'm hoping, and I'm
That's not a
hoping isn't
pastime.
true, is that they're
Actually, that
going
is a
home.
pastime.
Yeah, it's their killing time. Like, but I feel like in my mind, I'm hoping they go home and that's not what they're doing. But I have a bad feeling. I have a bad feeling that it is to some extent. So that
Yeah,
worries me. I don't
that
like that.
that freaks me out. So, what did you watch on YouTube? Seeing my sister engage in. I was thinking about this, and it's this continuity word that you introduced to me. And
Yeah.
she was watching shorts, and I was going, okay, I need to reflect on this. Why do I care that she's watching YouTube shorts? And maybe she doesn't understand what's happening in them, but she's a kid, and she will learn
Yeah, of course.
what is being said in these videos through just, hey, that's kind of how you learn the language. You kind of just feel these stones at the bottom of the river as you're crossing it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, okay, why do I think this is bad? Where is this coming from? Because it's clearly coming from somewhere. And it's not just because people told me shorts is bad, or are bad. And so I was thinking about it, and it's the continuity thing. It's the shorts don't have that continuity because you're not engaging with the
Yeah.
YouTube channel. You don't go,
Yes.
oh, okay, let me go and see what other content that they have. Usually, that's not what shorts people do. It's just her scrolling down
Yeah.
to the next video, and so she watches a similar branch of videos where there is an AI voice storytelling about some situation, about something. I don't know. I've heard some really weird ones where it's like mothers and like people in university. I'm thinking, what the fuck? Like, this is not. This is really really strange. For me, I was watching. For me as a kid, I was watching. This guy called Mamoru Uchiha who was trying to put people in dreams because he didn't believe in this, Fugazi peace, because there's even when he ostensibly solved the ethnic conflict in the land he lived in, actually it still bubbled under the surface, and so he he came up. There was some continuity. It's not like he gave up on the peace plan. He just came up with this really crazy idea to put everyone in
Say
a
not peace, like fake peace,
dream.
like yeah, Tsukiyomi.
Yeah, Infinite Tsukiyomi, and I'm
Yeah,
thinking, or Pain, who I didn't watch that far. From what I heard, he's trying to. So he's trying to gather the. He's got what I've seen up
yeah,
to the point where he's gathering all the beasts. I was gonna say electronic
Katsuki.
beasts for some reason. The
Oh
Chinchilla.
yeah, the beast, yeah, the Biju, yeah.
Yeah. From what I heard, his plan was to get all the beasts and then basically send out nuclear bombs to these nations and have one final war in which they kind of just completely just World War II each other and go and then become
Yeah,
like Europe where they go, this can't keep happening. We kind of just had
right.
a bunch of wars and this has been so cataclysmic and we have a bunch of these weapons that could just wipe out civilization. Let's not do this. um
Yeah.
that's that's what I heard his
That's
plan
pretty
was.
close to it. That's pretty close to it. Yeah, pretty close to it. That's my sense of it. And like it's kind of a weird thing because there's a lot of justification like why he would want to do that based on the war and the like him being born in the village in the rain, which was kind of this like kind
Wilderness.
of place between Konoha and I think either
It's between
like the
basically everything. If you look at the map, it's in between
yeah,
so
it's like
many
the
different
center. So it's like
countries.
basically this like gray area in which
Yeah.
like spies are just everywhere and like child soldiers are common and shit. And like, so you get why they would do it, but then it's also like, luckily Naruto and his Takno Jutsu comes in and changes this lifetime plan in one conversation. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy. So I'm gonna go inside this weird tree thing, and also I'm gonna make you use any rebuff on all the people that you killed. That's awesome.
yeah, that's
Um,
so awesome.
um, and that's what I watched as a kid. And there was a lot of
Yeah, same.
continuity in terms of it's a long show. And I didn't watch that far, but I watched a lot of Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, and yeah, to me that's lot of continuity in between the things, and I'm getting these really cool storylines playing out over long spans of time, and so we get a lot of even it's like Naruto. You still Naruto for a kid show is wow. That's honestly
Intense.
antagonist. Yeah, really intense. You just wouldn't think of the kids. If I showed you the first episode of Naruto and go, oh yeah, by the way, this is a show about like mutually assured destruction and
Yeah, you're
refugee
like, what?
children, ethnic cleansings, and oh yeah, by
Yeah,
the
you're
way,
like,
that main
what?
character, his whole clan just got ethnically cleansed by his brother,
Yeah,
and now that's why he
yeah,
has a massive vendetta against him. Um, wow, that's some crazy shit for a kid show,
actually
and
crazy
honestly,
shit.
that's awesome. I really
Yeah,
do like how because it's one of those things where an adult in your life just gives you the responsibility to understand things on their terms, or treats
yep.
you closer to an equal. Go, okay, wow,
That's so
that's
validating. That's
exactly.
so, those moments are so validating and so important to me.
Same, yeah. Those are some of the most important moments, and so I think Naruto is sort of like that, where we are. I don't think if parents knew what they were giving their kids, I think they would go,
Oh yeah.
"Wait, what the fuck?" We have a Naruto that's would you call it, turning it into a woman? Some trans. They'll probably
Yeah,
do some
yeah,
trans
they see
stuff.
that, they think it's a trans thing. Wait, that's so
Yeah,
funny. That's so so
yeah.
funny.
Just
I bet some parents have. Like, they've
yeah,
read
and
that part, they're like, "What?
or the oh
You're
yeah.
turn my
By the
kid
way,
gay?"
they have the their mentor just does this bum play with them where he sticks fingers up their ass
Yeah.
for
No, but it's like an attack. It's like an attack that he does. It's so funny.
and one of the mentors is just completely not criticized for just kind of
Actively
going
pervying and, like,
yeah
yeah, like,
perving
spying on women.
yeah
Yeah.
spying on
Yeah.
women. I'm not gonna call it perving because that is just too soft. It's seen as too soft.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah,
call it
yeah.
for what it is. He's just
I don't even know what
sexually
to call it. It's crazy. It's like,
aggravating.
yeah, sexual, like,
It's just
harassment in, like, a
insane, yeah.
serious
And
way.
he's the
Yeah.
not the brother, but he's the teammate of um it's like kind of like war buddy, like teammate turned war buddy turned into lovers that never became of
Yeah.
the Hokage. So well, that's a scandal waiting to happen. I can't
Big
believe that never happened.
yeah, this is real life 100%, yeah.
Yeah,
Big scandal waiting to happen, yeah.
yeah. And so Yeah, it does it so openly, dude. It's insane,
So
and he
crazy.
writes
And he's
books
writing
about
books
it.
about it. Yeah. Oh my god, dude. Literally.
Insane.
And he's
Yeah,
probably like the most popular books in the country though. Like also they're like major popular, like Kakashi's reading it. Like these are
yeah,
major books. Like
yeah. That's yeah. If you told a parent that, they
epic.
would probably go insane. So I don't. That's why I have to take a step back and reflect and go, okay, well, she's probably watching things that she doesn't understand, but I was kind of doing the same thing. But
Me too,
it's the
yeah.
continuity thing where
Yeah.
um I don't see
It's a continuous story rather than individual fragments that you're being
exactly
engaged with.
because
Yeah.
that's harder to remember when you're engaging in a continuous story. There are events that constantly record upon, and so when they're constantly record upon, they're reinforcing your brain any sort of lesson, and they do replays of episodes too, and you just kind of grudge through them, but they actually do
Oh yeah.
reinforce the thing. And sometimes you haven't caught the beginning of the show. That happened to me a lot of the times where I'm thrown into the show and I go, wow, this is super fucking interesting, but I haven't seen the beginning of it. You know, that's how I got into Harry Potter. That's how I got into Dragon Ball. It's I'm just thrown into the middle of it, and I'm going, "Whoa, what the fuck is this?" I think pretty much everyone was thrown into Dragon Ball. Everyone started in Dragon Ball Z, but the
Yeah.
original
I,
Dragon
I
Ball is
I didn't, but I watched it later actually. Like I didn't I like not watched it, but just like I became aware of Dragon Ball later, like
right.
for
Yeah,
Narcos reason.
I was never aware of the original Dragon Ball, and so when I found out about it, I'm going, oh, what is this like weird prequel thing? I didn't realize it because the show was called something else. I didn't realize it was that this is the original. And so realizing that, you know, when I started watching, oh, this is the real original. This is what happened. This is how we met all the characters. I'm going, oh, what the? I didn't know it was this different. I didn't know this is how they established the relationships. I didn't know
Right.
it adds a very significant to the beginning of Z, where you have Piccolo and Goku working together when they were just arch enemies in the previous arc, and that was big, and they were arch enemies after Goku killed the original Piccolo. So it's
Oh
wow,
yeah,
this
that makes
is
sense.
sort of a generational conflict, and now they're wow, the threat is this big. This
Yeah.
generational conflict needs to be sidelined because this guy is crazy strong, and that adds a really different context. I think that's probably the best fight in Dragon Ball, which is Piccolo teaming up. When Frenzy told that to me, he came to an independent assessment
So
that was
sad.
his favorite fight.
But that's
What'd
so
you
sad
say?
because that's so early on, right? Isn't that so sad? Isn't that so early on in Dragon
Yeah,
Ball though?
yeah, it's
See? Yeah,
so
I thought it was
early on.
really early on. Yeah, so like that's the best fight in the entire thing. What? Like
Yeah,
that's
it's
crazy
insane.
to me.
Yeah,
What? Like
yeah. That's the beginning of Z, yeah, and that's the best fight in the series, yeah,
brutal.
because it's more illustrative of the Dragon Ball fights, which were way shorter. They didn't go on for
Yeah.
500 years, and so it's closer to that. Whereas in Z, they just got ridiculously long. Basically, in the next arc, but with Vegeta, that fight just goes on and on and on and on and on. That's really the fast fight that really did that. And that's why I don't think the other fights are as good because you know where's you can be succinct and also tell sort of the same narrative going on in the fight. You don't need to have this drag on for so long, but also I kind of understand why it dragged on because they were trying to add as much bullshit so they didn't catch up with the manga because they were always trading the manga. That's insane to me. um, so the pacing definitely suffered, and they released Kai, which is paced so much better. But how the fuck did we get onto talking about Dragon Ball? Oh yes,
Oh,
it's
I
the
forgot.
TikTok stuff. TikTok stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, dude, literally. So I don't know if you saw one of the things I sent you, but it's literally like one of the. It's literally called like it's so crazy to mention this, but like it's literally called the. Let me look at the exact word for it. Yeah, short-term video degrades our capacity to retain intentions. The effect of context switching on prospective memory, and this is like before TikTok type content structures took over everything.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, what these researchers found is that there's like an attentional cost when you switch from one context to another. So, like when you're thinking of all these videos coming at them, each one is a different context. One might be a dancing video, one might be a a political video, one might be whatever. And so each time you switch between them, there's an attentional cost that is imposed. So one of the examples of this is they often will give advice to people for bullet points where you don't want like really long bullet points, because each bullet point in a presentation feels like, if it's not like just a short one and you're explaining it fully, it feels like you're switching between a bunch of different things for a lot of people. Like a lot of people can't retain something as a continuous thing when you switch between one aspect of something and another. It can all be about the same thing, but if you switch from one aspect to another of the same thing, it imposes an attentional like you're like a load on your ability to maintain attention. And then the same thing takes place at a higher level when it's actually contextual switching. Like when you're actually switching context, not just it feels like you are because of a bullet point format, but you actually are going from a video on one thing to a video on another thing. That actually does fuck with your attention and your ability to form long-term memories. Like not just your ability to give attention, but your ability to form long-term memories. And I absolutely think it's tied in the continuity thing you're talking about, where like the continuity is what creates the framework around which the memories sit. So it's like what you're saying is so perfect here. I just wanted to throw that out there. Like it's so perfect.
That's funny that I just happened to come to the to a very similar conclusion. Yeah, that continuity thing is yeah why I'm now.
I think so too.
Have a very fully formed thought on it. Still definitely gonna read because I have all the stuff open.
Yeah. Or just like skim parts of it, especially if the Google Reader sent like a thing. But like it's still like it talks about like perspective, perspective memory and like interesting things, and it starts running like. I mean, I don't know fully enough. Like it's like they say it's the ability to remember and perform like previously planned action at the precise moment in time or following a specific event while one is engaged in performing another activity. So it's like I have an idea of something I want to do, and then I'm going to go and do something else, but then I still retain this memory of something I seek to do, like a prospect of something I seek to do in the future. Like I think that's what they're saying. And I guess TikTok degrades that specifically. But because you're constantly switching between so many different things, you can't remember any intention you had going into it, like why you're there in the first place, like why you're even watching any of this stuff. Like it makes you forget that stuff.
Fuck. No good. Also,
but I gotta go get lunch because my I keep telling my parents, I'm like, I gotta do 5 more minutes because I'm talking to someone, but I gotta go get the food. So I'll be on in like a couple hours. I don't know if you will be. If you are, we can talk. If not,
okay,
it is what it is. No worries. But I will. It was good talking. I will talk to you later. Okay.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later, Joe.
All right.